Good morning, everyone.
Howdy.
Good morning.
As you can tell, I'm not Valerie or Sally.
Morning, Hank and Deb.
Yes, how are y'all doing this morning, Hank? Speaking, the one that stays in trouble, that is Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Deb still doesn't have the cord for her laptop.
Yeah, she's still waiting on it. I think I would have raised a little bit of a stink. Good morning, Urban Viking Explorers. Lord have mercy. Good morning, Deb. So, did you buy anything at the auction yesterday, Todd, or is it still going on?
Yesterday was preview, and so they're going to start popping off in like 1 minute increments starting at 6 p.m. today.
Is it like a live in person you have to go to at auction or an online auction?
No, it's online only.
So the shelves had got up to $50 last night?
Yeah. I mean, they're nice shelves, but I've seen them way cheaper than that at auctions before, and I should have bought more while I was at those. I bought some shelves at a public school auction, and I got a good deal. I got like 4 shelves that big for $50. But that auction's over with. Looking backward now, I'd like to kick myself in the butt for not getting more.
Well, you learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw where you had posted last night, or when you were talking with Bridget, that they'd gotten up to $50, and she was like, "You can buy them off of Amazon for 42 to 48 or something of that sort."
Yeah.
Shipped.
So the big thing that I was wanting is for our home. There's 30 boxes of that easy to put down flooring.
Right.
Morning, Mr. Sadie.
I totaled up.
Good morning, Sherry.
Home Depot's price brand new on it was over $2,000 for this stack. And I'm currently winning that lot at $165.
Morning, Glenn and Sherry.
So hopefully it won't zoom up. I'm not real good at laying floor.
First of all, you'd have to empty your whole house.
Yeah, I think if I do it in myself, I can do it in stages. It's going to have to be in stages anyway, because my old man back won't do what it used to could. That's a Texas expression. I used to could do things that I can't do now.
Well, you could, you could get off a little of that money and have somebody come in and put it down for you.
I called Home Depot and asked how much, and they said $2 a square foot just to install it. I was like,
so your house is about 4,000 square foot, so it's gonna cost you 10 grand to get it laid.
yeah, well, we weren't going to do the whole house anyway, but I was like, really? So, no, I'm too cheap. I may talk my boy into coming over a weekend.
Call in your dad markers.
Yeah.
Urban explorers, that would be cool. I like watching exploring urban or abandoned locations. Is there anything else that you're winning?
Oh yeah, there's some kitchen and bathroom faucets. There's some indoor and outdoor lighting fixtures. And they're banged up boxes, but they're all new in boxes.
Right.
These are pretty much all Home Depot products
Right.
that people ordered and then never came in and bought it. So we just had it stores, and then the Home Depot cleared it up or wherever. And the people who own this stuff, I guess they just bought truckloads of this stuff. There's a big warehouse full of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second auction they've had on some of it. And there's still more than half of it left in that warehouse. And I guess they're going to clear the whole warehouse. So
I'm sorry, I was listening to you, but I was laughing at Mr. Sadie and he's starting morning off on. He's starting the morning off on the naughty side, according to Sherry. Anymore, just about where Home Depot, Lowe's. If it's not something that's specifically marked fragile, the boxes are always dinged up on them because those guys and gals just slap them up there on the shelf.
Yeah. I'm winning that coin counting machine.
Well, that's cool.
At $18. I expect that'll go a little higher.
Sherry, Jim and Tara are in the process of moving. And I think Tara kicked Jim and Brandon to Kentucky with a truckload of stuff. So I think Tara's trying to get stuff done while she's not being interrupted by her husband or child. So hopefully she'll pop in for a few minutes and take a break, have a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke, whatever it is her drink of choice is. Yeah, because I haven't seen them since Thursday night when they were on my evening show. But I know they're running out of time too. I believe they have to be out of this house. Is it by the end of July? I believe it's by the end of July. So they got to get serious with it now that the snow's gone and the kids out of school. I would hate to think about moving as far as they're moving with all the stuff that they have.
Swamp got 10 shots for his rabies last night. Oh my God. He's a tougher man than I am.
Is that for the dog bite? Hold on.
They couldn't find the dog to test it, so he had to undergo
the
series of rabies shots.
Hey, South Texas Picker. Good morning.
It's so painful.
Look at the pussycat.
Oh, yeah, he's a little confused this morning.
He's a big boy.
He's been losing weight.
No, I'm talking about he just looks like he's a big cat, which my male cat's a big cat too.
Yeah, he is. He's a good boy. Well,
And my little girl, she's just fat. What was I doing? Okay.
I sold this box of, it was a sealed box of zip discs. Do you remember zip discs?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was and I sold them for $25. I bought them for $1, sold them for 25, which was competitive. But I sold them to a company that apparently sells old computer media.
Right.
So I went on their website and they sell individual discs for like $9.95 a disc. So I guess they're going to break open my pack and sell them individually and make $75 on the deal.
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, now you remember that for the next time.
Well, I don't think they would sell individually for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's because they have that specialized site. I just thought it was cool, the food chain of reselling.
Yep.
You know, I buy it at the yard sale, I flip it on eBay, they buy it on eBay, they sell it on their website. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's a lot like retrospect cameras. Except they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't buy on eBay anymore, do they?
Who was that?
Retrospect buying all the
Sticker has zip discs in the closet. Go get them listed.
instant cameras.
Oh, yeah.
But I got nothing going out today.
I've got one thing that I bought. It's been since the first of the year, but it's a 10 tool set that I got from, I mean, not tool set, animals. I got from Tractor Supply. And I thought I had it priced on the high side, and it sold yesterday.
Nice. Do you put best offer on things or do you just?
I put best offer on stuff. Oh, bless his heart. He's lost.
Jack.
You people and your cats.
What?
I said, you people and your cats.
That's why I said what?
You just get confused. Here, sit with me a little bit.
You're one to talk there, Mr. Cat Tom.
I know.
Cat.
I love my cat, though. He don't bother me. They're not, I don't have to take them out and walk them.
Yeah, that's what I love about cats.
And if you go away for a couple of days, you can leave them enough food and enough water down, and you don't have to worry about it.
Hank's dogs are yelling because of the cat. See what you started, Jack? Yeah, he can't hear.
Glenn, I sent you a link if you got time. Good morning, Wandering Marine. Good morning, Mrs. Naturally.
Morning, Mimi.
Collins. And good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Glenn.
Morning, Glenn. So how painful was it?
Pretty painful, I wasn't screaming, but I was biting my teeth.
Oh my God.
I thought about on the way home.
This is the dog that bit you a couple weeks ago or whatever?
Yeah, last Tuesday.
Mm.
So I thought about actually stopping the sports academy and getting one of those mouth guards you can bite on, like, which I wish I would have kind of in one way. Go like 10 shots in that, around the. They give you one arm in the vaccine in the arm, if it's like a mosquito bite. But the other ones, they shooting around. I got 3 spots they had to inject around. So wherever the tooth mark is at, that's where they put an injection mark. So if you get bit more a couple of times, they're going to be putting needles all around the,
Oh my God.
each bite mark or puncture one.
How many bite marks did you have?
I had 3. It was one bite, but 3 holes.
Uh,
And you couldn't find the dog?
Nope. Well, it is right, back that way, but the owner, this is the hood, okay, and all that. So, and all that. But like you said, but animal control wouldn't pick it up. I can't say too much, but like you said, basically, the lawyers handling it now.
So after you get those shots, are you allowed to kiss anybody?
I guess,
Good morning, fishing.
Most definitely not fun,
I just kidding, Glenn. I didn't mean to make light of it. I was just
Yeah. But as soon as it happened, I'm going, rabies,
yeah.
5 minutes, because I know these are hood dogs, and all that. So people don't, have the money to bring vets and all that. Unless it's got really hurt super bad. And a lot of time I've hurt that dog around here, they probably just kill it and put it in the garbage can. And all that. But like you said,
Do you have to go back for any more shots?
yeah, I go back the 17th. No, this week, come in Friday, whatever, the 14th. Then I go the 21st and the 28th. Now, I only get the mosquito bite one. I don't get the damn 10 shots in the deal, because that would be,
Because they used to give them to you in your stomach, didn't they?
Long time ago, from understand, But whenever it happened, like a couple of days ago, I got on YouTube, and they were injecting somebody's hand and whatever. I guess he got bit in the hand. Wherever you get bit at, that's where they inject you at.
It's interesting to know.
Well, I hate that you have to go through it. They had another a person get mauled by a Rottweiler, I think it was,
Right.
here in Charlotte, and they're talking about putting a ban on those big animals in Charlotte. Or you have to keep. They have to be contained. They can't be like
on a leash in the backyard. To me, it shouldn't be on the backyard on a chain.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of time I'll chain my dog up if I'm working in the backyard or doing some work where it's not jumping on me. But otherwise, it's roaming free all the time in the backyard.
Well, some of these big dogs can jump a chain link fence. You got to have a 9-foot fence behind your house.
Well, I think legally you got to have the 8-foot fence, on certain size dogs. And this was like 20 years ago, or longer than that, 50 years ago, Because growing up, I had a Doberman and a Wiener dog, so with the basic standard 4.5-foot fence or whatever, 4-foot fence, all that, but it was like in a neighborhood back from the, 50s, that I grew up in. So, but these days, you got to have at least like an 6-foot fence legally to have a large animal. Especially if the insurance company, people, when they come to check your house and all that, and they see a dog, and so you got to have an 8-foot fence or 6-foot fence all the way around, around into the house.
A buddy of mine, his neighbor was changing homeowners insurance. They came out to do the inspection, and they saw that he had a Rottweiler mix, and what's the other big one that's real popular?
Pit bull.
A pit bull.
That's what bit me. Pit bull. Yeah.
And they said, we don't. Our company will not carry you if you have those kind of animals.
Right.
And so they had to start all over again because they were getting rid of their animals.
Right.
And I can understand that because my sister-in-law had an Akita.
Yeah.
Which they can be real vicious. They're Japanese big dog. They can be real vicious. She raised that Akita from a wee puppy, like bottle fed it.
Right.
And they never had any problems with her. And they're the ones that have their daughter's the director of a animal adoption league. So they have all kinds of animals at their house all the time, even back then, and never had a problem with them.
Right.
Because Angie always made it clear that she was the boss, not the dog.
Yeah.
But some of these people, they don't care about that.
Yeah, fishing, picking. Yeah, I had a total of 10. Oh, about that many. I stopped counting, but it was around 10. And I get 2 more. I get 3 more one this coming week, in the next 3 weeks. But that's only in the arm. That's a mosquito bite. That's just the aggravation of me leaving work and go get it.
I started to say, silly me, I was having an old man moment. I started to say, do you know who the dog belonged to? Can you take legal action against him? And then I remembered you said it's in the hood, so you just be spending money for nothing.
Well, yeah, I'm still, talking about what you're saying. I don't want to say too much, but what you're saying is, it was already in place, within an hour after I got bit. I knew. But like you said, it's a rental too. Then, like you said, they're bringing in the homeowners and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. If it was a rental, you can go after the landlord.
So it's going to be a mess. I'm just glad he only bit me once.
Right.
I mean, if I can get the camera, I'll show it real quick. If I can kind of stretch it.
Okay, I'm not going to pass out, am I?
Oh no, it's not that bad. Let me see. I got something blocking my screen. I got to X off of. Let me see real quick if I can get it. I got something blocking my little screen or whatever with some pop-up windows. So you see, okay, here it is. Let me get it up. Get rid of that. Come on. New software program.
Oh,
No.
And kind of on the back side a little bit. That's the main one. That's the main one right there.
Lord.
Gosh, those dude.
And that's that could have been a lot worse. I mean, that thing when he used me for a rag doll, I mean, it just bit me once.
Wow. That looks nasty.
So that's if you ever get bitten, if they break skin, you need to find out whether it's a whatever. They break skin, they need to be quarantined for 10 days.
Right.
I mean, even if it's your own dog, I mean, you need to go out and get it checked out because you don't know if that thing got bitten by a raccoon that morning. And I was telling my regular doctor that, and it kind of, it took a while for me to understand. Say, hey, there's no dog to test. Oh, that changes everything. Another nurse came in and said, hey, this changes everything. So she went and researched it real quick. Said, yeah, you need to start getting rabies and all that. So I went to the ER of one of the main hospitals. No, that's what she said. You have to go through the ER soon. Luckily I got there right after work, about 6 o'clock. I left here about 5 o'clock, about 5:45. And there was only a handful of people. And when I got out, by the time I got out, it was like 9:15 about. The whole waiting room was just full. So if I would have came and went and ate dinner first before coming there in the hospital, I might have been in there to midnight,
Yeah.
I stayed up to midnight. By the time I ate and all that, I was going to bed about 1 o'clock.
Wow. I was walking on our greenway one morning, and there was a lady walking a couple of little dogs.
Right.
And she was walking along, and this guy was coming the other direction, and he had a big dog. I don't know what it was. I guess it was a Doberman Rottweiler. It looked like the Doberman Rottweiler. You know how their heads are shaped. Anyway, that dog jumped to the end of his leash like he was going to try to get those 2 little dogs. And, of course, those 2 little dogs don't realize that he's 12 times as big as they are or 100 times bigger and eat them up.
Right.
And they were headed, they were at the ends of their leash, and she pulled in her dog, but the guy didn't pull in his dog. And by that, I was walking up behind her. By that time, she pulled a 9mm out of her pocket, and she said, "You need to keep walking."
Oh, luckily she didn't use it,
I guess she was getting ready to drop a dog.
Yeah. Well, my dad was still alive. I mean, he would have went back there and probably not shot the dog, but he'd call the police and I'm about to go kill a dog. Y'all don't come pick it up.
Good morning, Tara.
Oh, I got a notification on YouTube that my name was being said on another channel, so I had to check it out.
Okay.
It goes off like the bat light.
Are you doing okay by yourself?
Yeah.
I didn't know whether you were lonesome with your men gone.
Well, I got the dogs. Dogs are here. But Brandon, I'm like, Brandon, why don't you just stay with me? I'll be too lonely without you. He's like, yeah, you can just talk to the dogs. Like, thanks.
So the boys took another load down to Kentucky.
Yeah, Jim's gonna be. Well, I don't know when they probably won't be back till next week because he's gonna start putting in. He's got to put in some posts. He's gonna do that while he's down there. So
You can take your horses down there.
yeah, that's the plan. Well, I gotta take a load of. He's gonna do some laying out, put the corners in, and then when he comes back, then in a few days we'll leave. I gotta take that load of 3 horses down, and then I'll probably stay down there for about a week and finish up my fence.
Right.
And then power out and get mine down there. Anyway,
Are you getting close to having everything ready to go, or
I guess, sure.
you going to still leave a lot?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there isn't that much stuff like in the house. I got some stuff out in the shed. I got to move a semi-trailer. I'll have to contact the trucker and have him move that over to the piece of land I still own because I ain't going to get that sold before I got to get out of here. So I just got a couple things like that to tie up.
Well, that's good.
It's like when we had to get out of the big building. I mean, we had 30 days to do it, and you just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
You got to be out of the house by the end of July, don't you?
Well, I got to be out of that pole barn for sure by the end of July. But yeah, I want to wrap it up here because I got to pay rent here, you know.
Right.
I mean, honestly, probably I don't want to do this. If in July I said, hey, can you give me a few weeks in August? I don't think they care because I'm not sure I'm not sure they're not going to tear the house down, honestly.
Right.
Because they don't want to use it as a rental and they all own better houses than the one that's here. I'm not sure they're not going to take it down. I don't know what there's nobody going to live in it. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh yeah, we need to live in there or something. So, I mean, unless they make it into like an office or something.
Right. Are they going
They
to
have an office at their other buildings in town, so I don't know why they do that either.
Are they going to use the other pole building for storage too?
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have. See, I had sand footing for riding horses in it. They're gonna this week. I think they're gonna start redoing the surface in the indoor riding arena, so it's harder. I think they're gonna bring gravel in. So they're gonna start working on that. There's the old lounge in there. They're gonna tear that down. Because obviously they want that space for boat storage, not for this office that's built in there. So they're gonna tear that down, I guess, and stuff of that nature. Actually, they're pretty good guys to work with, I'll say.
A real estate friend of mine sent me a listing for a piece of property down in Chester County. It's like 1,200 acres.
Oh, really?
It's got a competition riding barn.
Wow.
in it.
There you go.
You know, with the stands and the
Oh, you're sure they're
big
doing horse
ring
shows
and things
in
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
They only want $9 million for it.
Well, there you go. You can start running horse shows.
Yeah, I forwarded it to my niece and that has all the horses, and she said, "So when are you and Aunt Roberta buying it? I need a place to put some horses."
It's not the initial investment. It's the bills on it, that the upkeep and the insurance. Like if it's something like that for running horse shows out. Because when I was doing boarding and lessons, I mean, my liability insurance was 10 grand a year. I mean, so can you imagine? And that's because I didn't do stuff like had riding clinics or had horse shows on my property. If I'd have had all that kind of stuff, it would have jumped at like around that 16, 18, just under 20 grand mark. So yeah, you imagine with a facility like that where they're trailering in horses, what they have to pay for liability insurance. I mean, it's outrageous.
You know, a lot of those events a lot of time have, you know, if they do certain events, you know, even motorcycles, whatever, you buy like insurance for those like 4 days or the whole week of the event.
Yeah.
That way,
Yeah, you can do that. We used to run a horse show off site and then that's what we would do is buy that event insurance or whatever. But they really hook you when you own the facility, though. I can just tell you from like, because you got people in there and stuff, they really get you on that one.
I went to a seminar one time. A friend of mine and I own a little mobile home park together, and we went to a seminar, and it was talking about how to develop it and whatnot. And the guy that was teaching the seminar, he had like 4,000 trailer spaces around the Carolinas. And one person said, "So would you recommend putting a pool on the property for the residents?" He said, "I recommend if there is a pool already on the property, you go buy you a bulldozer and fill it in."
Yeah.
The insurance will be astronomical on that place. And
Yeah. It was fun while I did it. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to have horses, but not open to the public. I had to set it up. It was an S corp, so it was his own entity. So if somebody sued me, they'd have to sue the company that it did business with, because the company doesn't actually own anything.
Right.
So you don't lose everything and stuff like that. I mean, it is. When you live at your horse farm, you have no privacy because you got people crawling around all the time. So it was fun, but I'm ready to not do this anymore.
down in Waxhaw, which is kind of a horsey, mini farms, mini estates down there, horse ranches, whatnot. They got 4-acre houses on 10 acres of land, and it's all fenced in, and they got barns on it, whatnot. I know some people that have a boarding stables down in that area for the people in Charlotte that don't want to move out to the country. And their insurance, they have to carry so many different types of insurance.
Yeah.
They have to, they have to carry their regular liability insurance, and then they have to carry special insurance because of all the livestock, the animals on it.
Caregiver. It's like caregivers insurance if you have because you could have horses being boarded in your place that are, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000.
Yeah.
That horse croaks or something. Now, what the hell you think they're going to do? The horse is usually insured. The insurance company's just going to try to come after another entity to get to recoup that money,
Right. Yeah, this was a really nice place, and they were getting a lot of money for board down there because a buddy of mine's daughter, I've mentioned it before. She's the one that rode until she got in high school, and then she discovered boys, and she didn't want to ride the horses anymore.
She didn't want to ride horses no more, huh?
And she was showing them, and they had an F-250 dually to pull this big ass horse trailer with, and all this kind of stuff.
They don't make a 250 dually, Tom. Come on.
Huh?
They don't make a 3/4 ton truck and a dually.
You can put a damn dually on anything, girl.
Are you talking about a dually truck? Okay, I will tell you this because I know they do not make a 3/4 ton truck with dual axles. That would be a 1-ton truck.
Okay. Well, he's got a 250 with a dually on it.
Get out. Now you're going to... Okay, now I'm going to Google it.
Okay, well, you knock yourself out, baby. Let me tell you what. There is a 1978 Datsun pickup truck around the corner here that's got dualies on the back of it.
What do you do with that thing?
Look stupid.
Anybody find anything good this weekend?
Oh, you're right. I stand corrected. Tom's right. I made fun of Tom for no reason.
That's okay.
Now go back to reselling. To go back to reselling, I went to a estate sale this weekend. In fact, Jim made a video on it, but he didn't get it uploaded before he left. So I bought this bronze statue. This was like a mega rich house. They had beautiful lake estate. They had 2 residences. They had the black and white tile garage. They had all the sports cars in it. It was chez poo poo. So I'm walking around. They had these life-size bronze statues that they all had priced at like $3,000-$4,000.
Wow.
Walk around the house. I'm buying crap. I see this bronze statue on the table. I'm like, I think that's bronze because sometimes they make that fake bronze that's
Yeah.
like filled with whatever. But this is a real bronze. It's a stingray, leopard ray, 7 of 25. I'm like, God, that looks like a real bronze. And I've always wanted like a good bronze horse, but I can't afford it. So anyway, I buy it. It's $60. I look up the artist. There's really nothing for sale on eBay or whatever. I find the artist. He's from Bahamas. So I emailed them. And they told me what it was. Yes, it's one of his pieces. And they told me, they go, yes, that's the $1,850 bronze that we used to sell, or the 25 we used to sell. So I got this supposedly retail $1,800 bronze for $60.
Wow.
So it's up for sale on my eBay store if anybody wants to buy it. I got a really good deal on it, smoking hot, of $1,400. I'll probably have it for sale for the next year and a half, but I mean, it was like one of those houses when you walk around in it. This guy don't have anything cheap. I mean, it's all, top of the line. There ain't nothing cheap in the house at all. Anyway, and they just price that bronze like super cheap.
Yeah, I went to a estate sale this weekend, and I mean, it's right probably less than 5 minutes where I live and all that, and they had like a house for sale also, like $625,000.
Yeah.
I did find some good stuff there and all that. If you guys want to
I bought like 10 new in the box big mouth Billy Basses because the guy used to give them away as gifts if you came to fish at the house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Jim bought these. They're for mooring your boat, but I forgot what it's called, but it's got this fiberglass whip, they call it, with these brackets that go on your dock.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, $150 or whatever. The whips alone are $50 a piece. Anyway, and some other stuff which I can't remember at all. You have to watch the video whenever Jim comes back and puts it up.
Y'all ever find Oral-B products? But I was surprised. I went to this garage sale. It was a 4-day sale, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and maybe Thursday. But I saw them in a box Saturday and ignored them. I should have looked them up because I would have paid full price for it. Went back Sunday after church, and that was about, I guess, 10:30. Well, these are Oral-B's, so somebody.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen, but these sell really, really good. And there were 4 packs in the boxes. That's how they were, like almost like a dentist and all that. Plus the 15-pack refills. And I paid $20 for 27 of these and 8 of these. The potential
nice
is $1,600 to $1,800 I make. So nobody.
Awesome.
So what I did was I got one of these and added these and sold it I'm selling them for $99.97. I'm selling this for $43 or $45. I got 33 views on that, but together I only got 8 views. But if I sell all this stuff, like I said, I'll clear about $1,700 after fees probably.
Yeah. And honestly, you'll probably sell that faster than I'll sell that bronze statue.
Like I said, I wish it. Like I said,
that's something people need.
And I remember it looked the same amount of boxes as I saw Saturday. So Friday I would have paid full price because she only had $4 for the whole box. A box of 4 of these, and I think she had $12 on the box of 4. I would have paid full price if I would looked it up Friday. But I wasn't there Friday because I had to work. But even Saturday, it's 25% off. And I actually looked at those during the listing challenge and all that. Sunday about I got home at 12.
Oh yeah, there you
I was
go.
hoping to sell them, and all that, and get that $58 they had up in the pot.
Tara, years ago. I went to a wedding reception at this house down in Charleston, and it was out by the pool. It was in the fall, so it was starting to cool down for the year. Anyway, these people had full. Actually, first of all, I thought it was like these actors that'll come out and they paint them like bronze or silver, and they just stand still, and they can do that for hours. But these guys had like 8 of these bronze statues standing around their pool. They were full size, and they had their arms stuck out, and then there was a lamp hanging from the hand, like they were holding the lamp. And like I said, first of all, I thought they were, those people, actors, and but they weren't. And the girl that I went with as a date, as her plus one, she that was her boss's house, and she said she knows for a fact that he paid like 12 grand a piece for those statues.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, this person had a life-size like Native American chief on a horse in their yard. I don't even know what the price was on that. It's not my decor, so I wouldn't buy it just because I'm not
You
into
wanted
Western.
that damn horse to go in your front yard of your new year.
No, I don't like Western horses. I only like English style horses.
Okay.
So no, that's not me. They had a pair of life-size Whippet bronzes, the dogs. Those are cool. Those are like $4 grand for the pair. Then they had all these bronze, like, this is kind of creepy. It's not me. I'm sure they paid a lot for them. They were children. There was like little girls on swings, or little girls skipping or touching butterflies, or boys playing football. I wouldn't want a bunch of statues of kids, because I don't know, it just makes you look kind of weird, whatever reason to me. But anyway, but I mean, this guy, he had some nice shit. They had some of the furniture there where they're like, it's not for sale, but if you're interested, leave a note and we'll let you know, because the house is for sale, which I'm sure it's, $1.5 million at least. They wanted to leave some furniture in there so the house is still staged with furniture. This guy, he had some, tell you, this guy had some nice stuff. But again, that's why I went, because I'm like, I'm not going to buy the life-size bronze, but there's going to be stuff there that slips through the crack. But it's good quality, because this guy obviously had money. He spent money on it, And I really like this estate sale company. She's really nice. She's been really good to me. But she does some stuff. She slips stuff through the crack. The week before, I went to an auction on Saturday, so there was a estate sale down the road for me. I'm like, well, let's go check it out, Jim. I bought this box of electronics. It had a Call of Duty keyboard in it. And my keyboard broke, and Jim gave me one of Brandon's old keyboards, which was all messed up, because like if I tried to type the H, I'd have a J2 or whatever, because there's food in the thing or whatever. So I'm like, I'm buying that keyboard for myself. There was a Garmin in there. I sold that for like 127 bucks last week. And I mean, I'm at the end of the estate sale. There's like maybe an hour left. I bought that Antelope head for 60 bucks. I bought a set of Civil War coffee mugs. I just sold those yesterday for 50 bucks plus shipping. I mean, that was just all at the very end of that nobody picked up for whatever reason. I think you need a bronze stingray, Tom, though. Why don't you go buy that from me?
A what?
I think you need a bronze stingray. Why don't you go buy that?
A bronze stingray.
That's that bronze statue I've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. Have you been listening to me at all?
Yeah.
Hello, is this thing on?
I have.
Okay.
I want the one that's down in Texas.
Oh, and I bought this at that estate sale too. They sold it to me for 20 bucks. It's a very good piece of taxidermy. I think it's a sailfish, or is that a swordfish? It has the pointy bill like a swordfish, but then the back, it's real blue, and then the back fin is like longer than a marlin's, or it's most of the back is all fin.
That sounds like a sailfish.
Is that a sailfish?
Yeah. That's
It's
what
really nice.
like.
I paid 20 bucks for it.
How long is it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't measure it. I mean,
Is
it's
it
gotta
longer than
be.
you are tall?
No,
Okay.
maybe 55 inches. That sound about right? I had a guess. Yeah, it's probably in that 50-inch range, I'd say. not like it's a marlin or something.
It's my dad always wanted to go down to Florida and go out on one of the charter boats and look for fish for sailfish or marlins or something like that. And we never got around to it. And now his health, he just can't do something like that. And
Jim they chartered a fishing boat out of Florida, his family, and he wanted us to do that again. He said, you wouldn't believe how fun it is when they take you on one of these charter fishing boats. He goes, you fish and fish and fish until your arms are tired of reeling in these big fish. He said it's a lot of fun. Now, he's been on the gang boats too, but he really liked the charter one. Obviously, you only had like 12 people on it or 10 or something.
I had an employee one time who drank like a fish. And he kept getting in trouble so much in our little county that I used to live in that the judge down there knew a guy down in Florida that had one of the commercial fishing boats, where they leave out and they stay gone for like 2 months.
Yeah.
He said, you really need to dry out. And so he said, if you agree to go down there and work 2 months, I won't put you in jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
But you have to complete the 2 months without any, because the owner of the boat does not allow alcohol on the boat at all. Not at all. And so this bloke, he went to Florida, and he stayed on that fish. He actually stayed about 6 months with him. And he came back and he looked so much healthier because he was dried out. But he said you couldn't get him to eat fish now because that's all he smells is fish. But he,
Mr. Sadie said he bought an old muskie, real taxidermy piece for $3. It's rough, but I love it. He must be in love with it enough to keep it. Because actually, in rough shape, they still do all right. I mean, I sold a bluegill like a month ago for like $55 or $60. And it was like they tried to repaint it. The fins are all effed up. It was the ugliest damn fish mount you ever saw, but God bless them, but people buy them.
A bluegill, a little sunfish.
Yeah, bluegill. It was really a bad mount. I'm serious though. If you're at like a garage sale and you see some old ratty fish mount, like a real skin fish mount, but it's all the fins are beat up and that, I mean, they're still like good for like, depending on what fish it is. I mean, they're still good for like $50, $60. And this thing was ugly. I even I'm like in poor condition, very bad condition, whatever. And the guy was had me send it to a taxidermist because he was going to have it redone. I'm like, Christ, you could just go catch a new bluegill and probably get it mounted cheaper than buying this old piece of crap and then fixing it up. But anyway, whatever.
Must have been the size. Was it a large bluegill?
It wasn't like super big. I mean, I would say, for up here, it was a decent sized bluegill, but it was maybe the size of my hand. So it was on a wood plaque. I mean, it wasn't longer than 6 inches.
no, a muskie. Is that a real big fish with teeth?
Yeah, I mean, they're usually like, in order to keep one up here where I live, they gotta be at least 40 inches long. So yeah, they're I guess pretty big. And not as big as a catfish.
Because I've seen a couple of the fishing people that I'm subscribed to. They're up in that area, and
Yeah. They got them in Kentucky.
we don't have them down here. I've never heard of them before until I started hanging with
They
you.
don't like real warm water, but they did plant them in Kentucky because they have like musky fishing tournaments down there. I don't think you all got northerns. They're a lot like a northern pike. They're just a little different.
Right. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning.
I tell you what, Mr.
Lori, do you have
Stacey is a
muskies
loose
in
cannon.
Ohio?
Muskies? Yes, we do.
See, she's got them in Ohio.
We also
Well,
have
she's
alligator gar.
Oh yeah, we don't got those.
But yeah, we
she's
have
not
muskies.
Idiot. She's from the north.
Oh, good job, Mr. Sadie. Put it up for sale. I thought you fell in love with it.
Well, some states you can't sell taxidermy into. Is that not correct? Or cannot sell?
Only thing I stay away from are ducks.
Yeah, I know the ducks you have to. My nephew is a big duck hunter, and
They make a big deal about ducks because you're supposed to have nobody keep when you have a duck mounted, nobody keeps like the license and stamp on it and stuff. But because they're supposed to have a federal duck stamp, I don't mess with ducks. But I've sold birds like pheasants, I think grouse. Had no problem there. I've never had a problem with a fish. Sold white-tailed deer heads. Haven't had a problem there. So that's kind of what I say. But I will not mess with a duck. I will tell you that. I won't mess with those.
Mr. Sadie, is that your phone number or your checking account number?
Oh, it's a northern. Well, they're like a cousin.
Oh.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off. See y'all later.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
see
for
you,
coming
Glenn.
in.
Okay, man.
Appreciate it. I just wonder where the hell Bridget's at this morning.
Probably busy working.
Yeah, I think she had a bunch of stuff she was trying to get boxed up for FBA. You know, I was watching Scott Bearded Picker's show. He must do really good in FBA to fly to freaking Maine to source.
Yeah,
Did I hear you rented a Tesla too?
He the owner of the hotel took him to the airport in a Tesla.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that house
Oh,
that house that we gave up that caretaking job at, we had to go there to talk with them, and introduce them to our replacement.
right.
And in the yard, it's BMW, Mercedes Benz, Land Rover, Tesla. Anyway, yeah.
Well, the Tesla was the best one in the
I never
yard.
saw. Honestly, I never stood next to a Tesla until I saw that one in the yard there.
My best friend has a Range Rover, and if he could get rid of it, he would, because that sucker's been nothing but a damn piece of trouble ever since he got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he bought it. He bought one that was made after Ford sold the company. Because when Ford straightened out Jaguars and Range Rovers, and then after they sold them, because back when the automobile industry was falling apart, they sold off all their subsidiaries. The new manufacturers changed stuff, and now they've gone back to pot. But Mike says the crazy card. He says that bald eagles sell really well on eBay.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty gutsy play. No, I don't think so.
There's people that will come driving up in your driveway and drag you out of your house.
Well, you can have them as long as you have the grandfathered paperwork for them. I knew
Right.
somebody here that had a golden eagle that was mounted, but she had the paperwork from when it was still legal where you could own a piece like that, but you got to have the paperwork with it. It's like a whitetail fawn. You can't own one of those without the paperwork either. or don't tell anybody.
One of my former coworkers is now a South Carolina game warden, and he loves it because he says I can go any place I want to without a search warrant if I have just cause.
Yeah, you can't even own an eagle feather. Like
Yeah.
you can't, because we have them here, and you can, like, when you're fishing, they'll be floating on the water. I mean, don't get caught with it. Yeah, you're not even supposed to possess it unless you're a Native American. You're not supposed to possess that feather. Oh my God, I'm looking at Mr. Sadie's Northern. Yeah, it's a little rough, but it's cool. But it's funny is I have a Jim. I'm going to list it. It's in Kentucky. I have a muskie that's very similar to this, but it has the same type of board that the fish is mounted on. And that muskie's from Canada too. I wonder if it's like the same taxidermist, but I mean, it's like the same damn board stamped. But I don't remember where in Canada that one was from. I think it might have been North American. I think I have a muskie that was mounted by the same company. That's funny.
I'm gonna have to start looking at this damn taxidermy stuff because there's a bunch of these rednecks we have down here. They might can't send their kids to school, but because they don't have any clothes, but hell, they'll have a damn mounted deer head or fish. And I can say that because I am a Southern redneck.
Honest to God, I have one fish that I actually caught on a line that's mounted. All the other mounts I have, other than a couple I inherited from my uncle, all the other mounts I have, we've gotten at estate sales and auction.
Mr. Sadie, they do too in the Carolinas. Mr. Sadie said game wardens have more power than the police around here.
Yeah.
A game warden has no limits to his areas that he can operate in. Like I said, if they have just cause, they don't even have to have a search warrant.
But I will say, like on deer heads, you got to get them cheap. Depending on how good a condition they're on. But on the bottom end, they're always worth in that 189 to 200 range. I mean, honestly, because I know the work it takes for Jim to box them, I don't want to be into that deer head for more than like $30, which sounds incredibly cheap. But because I know it's gonna take Jim at least an hour to pack the damn thing. So it's gotta be worth your while.
Good morning, TW. It's amazing what people will buy.
God bless them.
Tim, yeah, it always amazes me.
It's what keeps us in business.
Yeah. I have was it Gemma singing catfish that doesn't work right. And this guy texted me just a minute ago. He's like, exactly what's wrong with it and which song does it play? And if you pick up the head with your finger and let go, does it just flop back down or does it sound like the gear is turning?
Oh yeah, those Jemmy people, they're fussy. I bought 10 new in the box big mouth billy bass at this estate sale this weekend, and I paid $5 a piece for them.
Wow.
I'm gonna be in the big mouth billy bass business for the next 6 months.
I got one of the catfish ones, but I haven't tested it yet. I got it in a clean out.
I got a catfish one here, but it ain't working. I also got that McFlay of fish one or whatever, the one that sings a McDonald's song or something. Yeah, I think it's a tuna. It's supposed to be. I got that one here too, but I couldn't get it to work. It's still sitting here.
Mr. Sadie says he's got $82.50 shipping on that fish.
Well, yeah, because it's pretty long. I mean, I forgot what the length was, but with that board, I mean, it's a long fish. I bought that muskie, which I honestly, now that I'm looking at that, I'm pretty sure it was done by the same company. If I think it's in Kentucky, but I'm pretty sure it said North American. Jim was like, I ain't shipping that thing because he was in one of his moods or whatever. But when I get down there, I'm gonna start listing that stuff and getting rid of it. But it was like one of those things where I just bought it so incredibly cheap I had to take it home.
I imagine shipping a deer head is pretty.
Depends where it goes. I mean, it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost. I put paid shipping on them. I mean, it's gonna cost the buyer, depending how far it goes. It's gonna be at least $50.
Sorry, Beth.
I got one of those in my where I keep all my shipping supplies. My son's a lot of his stuff is still here. I'm gonna start charging him storage fees, but
There you go.
he's got his first button buck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he was like 16, I think, when he got it. Of course, they cleaned it right there in my yard for all the world to see. I mean, kids walking up from the school bus getting traumatized because there's my son and his buddy cleaning his deer. I thought for sure I was going to get raked over the coals by some of the parents, but I didn't. I just would have told them, well, I'll teach your kids how to hunt, and that won't be an issue.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen it. Well, I was raised on a farm, so I'm used to seeing that kind of stuff. And like,
Yeah.
I don't deer hunt, but I have nothing against it. I just don't really eat meat. But I mean, my uncle deer hunted, and I'd have to go over there and help him skin it and stuff because he did his own butchering.
My daughter walked around the corner. She's like, ah!
Yeah.
I am not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go sit in a damn tree, hoping a freaking deer will wander by.
Well, that's why you got to bait. You got to bait. Come on, Tom.
That's against the law.
I went.
No, well, not it ain't here, but they do have it because we had a CWD deer on a deer farm in one county south of me. So now they banned baiting for the 3 counties around that county, and my county is one of them. But that's really hurt deer hunting because we get a lot of people up from southern Wisconsin that come up here to deer hunt. I mean, that hurt deer hunting. No, you can bait. There's nothing wrong with it. You just establish the deer on a trail that they keep coming in by your stand.
Yeah.
I went hunting one time with my ex-husband. Well, he's my husband at the time. And I had never been, I'd been fishing, I've been squirrel hunting and stuff like that, but I've never been deer hunting. And I had my compound bow. And they put me out. We had to walk. We went down to Ironton, Ohio, which is close to West Virginia. It might have been Ironton, West Virginia. I don't remember. I just know it was near the Mead Paper Factory or Paper Company property. And we went to this place called the Hole in the Wall. And we had to walk almost 3 miles from where we parked to get to where we were going.
Yeah.
Well, it had rained the night before, and it was so muddy. I had my hunting boots on and my camo, and it was drizzling anyway. And by the time we got to where we were going, I had mud caked all over my boots. I pulled my hamstring from all the weight from the mud. So they set me down off this trail, this deer trail. And my husband's best friend's wife was up in the tree stand, probably about, 50 yards from me, but she was where she could see me. And I'm sitting on this little bitty hunting stool with the rain kind of coming down and hitting my hat. And I fell asleep. I had my bow across my lap, and I fell asleep. And I heard this god-awful noise. I thought it was a velociraptor that got me. And it was this big buck had blown behind me because I guess I moved and it spooked him. It scared me so bad. The bow went one way and I went the other. And
Oh boy.
I just ran as fast as I could with all that mud. And I don't know how many times I fell and rolled. I didn't know what the heck. Because when you're waking up out of sleep like that, it scared the crap out of me.
Lori,
But
all I
could
can run away from the deer when you're hunting.
Well, I didn't know what it was. I've never had a deer blow at me like it. You know how those velociraptors make that weird noise?
Yeah, horses do that too when they're spooked. They go like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that I've heard, but that sound that those dinosaurs, I didn't know what the hell it was. It scared the crap out. I've never known a. And damn, she about fell out of the damn tree stand laughing at me so hard. She's hanging there, hanging on.
I will say, because we have a lot of deer around here. But we were in Kentucky. We were at Mammoth Cave. We're leaving the cave. We're at the parking lot. And I'm watching, there's some does there eating grass. I'm like, oh yeah, look at those deer. They're right here. They're so used to people. it was like something out of one of those like hunting shows. All of a sudden, this big like 12, 14-point buck walks out of the woods. And he's one of these, you know, where they got like the super thick neck. They're all like testosterone bucks. They're real thick and girthy looking, and this huge rack on him. And he comes out, and I've never, other than in hunting shows, I've never heard it. You know, like where they come out and they grunt at the does. They're like,
Yeah.
they grunt at the does. He come out doing that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Jim, I feel like I'm in one of those like hunting shows where they're in the blind in Texas or whatever. It was, I honestly, I never saw one do that either. And Jim hunts, and he's like, I've never actually saw one do that either. Anyway, it was really kind of something.
A buddy of mine told me one Sunday, and he's like, I took a niece out to hunting with me yesterday, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that didn't go well. His wife is a city girl.
Oh boy.
Right? She is a city girl. She doesn't go nowhere without her makeup on and her hair done.
Oh boy.
So I said, really? That sounds fun. He said, the night before, I told her we had to get up at 3 and that she could not put in no lotions, no hairspray, no fragrances. So she said, okay. So when he gets up, she's got her hair's done. She's got her makeup on, but she doesn't have any fragrances on. She's got on a pair of Gucci knee boots. They'll probably cost them $1,500. And then he named off some other designer. She had on like, you know, the boots like riders would ride. I mean, pants like riders would.
Yeah, like breeches.
Riders wear.
Yeah.
They come down to like right below the knees. She had on a pair of those, and then she had like a Versace jacket on, and he said, we're going to go out and kill deer. We're not going to the Harris Teeter grocery shopping.
Oh boy.
He took her, and he said, you know, he knew it was going to be a wasted day because she was going to get bored. Because he said, no phones, no nothing. It's got to be quiet. And he said they actually stayed, you know, about 4 hours once they got in the tree stand. And she just sat there and she just looked around.
You know, I'm going to tell you Jim's theory on, you know, these people that like hang your clothes outside for a week and don't do this, don't do that. Jim's hunting. Okay, this is back when he still smoked cigarettes over a corn pile. He's smoking his cigarette. He goes, yeah, I'm smoking my cigarette. This deer comes in, don't care. Cigarette smoke in the air. Smoking my cigarette. And then a buck comes in. I'm still smoking my cigarette. He goes, I finished smoking my cigarette, threw my butt on the ground, and shot the deer. And it still was so worried about eating that corn that it didn't even. It could have cared less about that cigarette. And I will say here, like I got that barn aisle, and sometimes I leave my grain cart right in the barn aisle because the horses are outside mostly. The deer walk inside of my barn to go eat out of my grain cart. I mean, it's a wild deer, spooky flight animal, and it's walking inside a building to eat out of the grain cart. I mean, and there's all kinds of like people smells, you know, all that kind of stuff. They don't care.
We have a couple of deer that come and eat my azaleas behind my sunroom in the middle of this yard. Mr. Sadie's a fisherman, so he'll appreciate this little story. Back when I was a kid and we'd go out fishing, my dad, I had 2 brothers. I have an older brother and a younger brother. My dad would take us out fishing, and it would be my dad, my mom, and my 2 brothers and I. And he had a 17-foot V-hull boat, fiberglass boat, with 100-horse Mercury outboard on it. And we would go down to Lake Marion. And if you don't know anything about Lake Marion was built during the beginning of, or was being built during this start of World War II. So after WW2 hit, they just stopped construction. They tied any huge logs down with steel cables, and then they just started flooding the lake. So there's parts of the lake that there's trees still growing out the middle of it. There's big stands of it. If you look at the Google Earth for Lake Marion in mid South Carolina, you'll see it. It's a big, huge, flat thing. So we're out there fishing in all these lines, and you got all these little boys getting snagged on everything. And my dad was like, "You got to be quiet. You'll scare the fish. You got to be quiet." So let's fast forward to I'm about 16, 17 years old, and we're down on the fishing the same area, and my cousin and I are in a 14-foot metal John boat that leaks, and we've got this piece of a motor on the back of it, and we're fishing around. And of course, with the water leaking into the John boat, any aluminum cans that are sitting in the bottom of the boat are going to start to float. My younger brother said you could hear Tom and Stacy, 500 feet away from you, because the aluminum cans rattling in the boat. And we caught the hell out of fish. So we get back to the landing. We're showing them all the fish that we caught, big old crappie and big old brim and whatnot, some bass.
Crappies? They're crappies, not crappies.
Well, down here, the crappies, honey. The crappies in the south, or in my part of the south, it is.
Crappie is junk or poo. Crappies.
Well, it's crappies down here.
Well, it's crappie here.
Well, that's freaking Texas. Who cares about Texas? Anyhow, my dad said, "Well, I'll just throw that damn old wives' tail out, because apparently it don't make a difference, because it sounds like a marching band over there in y'all's boat." But
Are there alligators in that lake?
oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I just was looking at pictures of it, and there's some people that were gator hunting in there. Oh my God, Mr. Sadie, you're not supposed to rub the deer piss on yourself. That's why you have those little tampon things. You dip it on that and then hang it in the trees. Because have you ever seen like where some buck tries to attack a dude and then is like trying to like mate with them? That's because they've dumped so much estrus urine all over themselves. That's how you get that to happen if you want to make a YouTube video.
But Lake Marion is, when a thunderstorm blows up, you get the hell off of that lake, because you'll feel like you're out in the ocean real fast. Like fishing, and probably not as bad as like on the Great Lakes up in y'all's neck of the woods, but it gets pretty damn bad.
I've never fished on the Great Lakes. I don't have a big the fishing boat we have. The guy that had it, he used to fish on Lake Superior, but he never went past the break walls, so he was just on that harbor and stuff like that on the inside. But I've never actually fished on Lake Superior. Too big of water for me. I'm a wimp.
Lake Marion down in South Carolina, Stubbs.
You should have had the camera with you, Mr. Stady. You could have made a viral video.
I've just never really, I tried duck hunting with my brothers and my cousins, and went out and bought. My brother said, "You got to have this kind of shotgun." So I went out and bought a new shotgun and spent $500 that I didn't need to spend, or I didn't want to spend. And of course, you got to have the shells, and then you got the damn hunting license and the stickers and the tags to hunt deer. I mean, ducks in South Carolina is crazy. Went out and bought like 3 dozen duck decoys, all that kind of crap. And we would drive from up here down to the Waccamaw River down near Myrtle Beach, and we'd deer hunt down. I mean, we'd duck hunt down there. And get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to just sit in the damn boat, hoping some ducks would come in. Forget that.
Jim used to duck hunt. He liked it. And he said it is a great thing, like for kids, because it's a lot of action. It's not, deer hunting, you're sitting and being quiet. He goes, but ducks, there's usually quite a bit of action. But he won't duck hunt anymore because now he's a duck lover. He loves geese and ducks because we had pet ducks and geese.
Right.
Because now I just can't shoot them anymore.
I was fishing with my cousin one time, and he had like a 19, or his daddy had like a 19-foot Ranger bass boat with a 225 Mercury outboard on it. That sucker would fly. And the Waccamaw River, 99% of the time, is as slick as a sheet of glass because it's real narrow. And it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. We're headed to the hill, and there's some ducks flying right down the river. My cousin said, "Get your shotgun. I'm going to give you one shot behind them and one shot in front of them. See if you can hit something." And he did. I fired one shot off, and before I could chamber another shell, we were in front of them. But it's, I just don't, I'm not, this getting up early in the morning is just not my thing anymore. What's that name? It's right below Columbia, South Carolina, Stubbs. They have bass fishing, everything. It's really a beautiful lake. And you can take the Tail Race Canal and go down to Lake Moultrie too if you want to. But Lake Marion, there's so many stumps and floating logs that's right beneath the water. You have to stay to the marked course that's down through the lake, because there's a lot of boats sitting on the bottom of that lake. And Brandon's Outdoor Adventure said goose hunting is a blast. Until a couple or 3 years ago, it was against the law to goose Canadian geese hunt in South Carolina.
In this part of Wisconsin in the north, by the time goose season opens in Wisconsin, they've already migrated down towards like Horicon Marsh, which is like I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours south of me. So they you don't have very good goose hunting in my area. I mean, we see them fly over a lot of geese, and we have some that summer here, but yeah, not really. Usually they're all gone by the time our season opens.
And what's so bad about the Canadian geese back when you couldn't hunt them, and you have a limit on them now. People that I knew that had big ponds on their farms, they had ducks out on them, and during duck hunting season, they'd want to duck hunt. Well, the Canadian geese would be hanging out, so they couldn't even duck hunt on their own property.
Oh boy, I was worried you were going to say something bad about Canadian geese there for a minute. Again, I was going to say, oh man, am I glad Jim ain't here, because he doesn't like anybody saying anything bad about Canadian geese. He just found out that they do this thing called addling eggs, where they put oil and wax on Canadian goose's eggs so that they don't poop on grass and stuff like that, like people with golf courses and stuff like that. I mean, I thought he was going to go off his rocker. There's this place down here up in Wisconsin to the way south of us, Wind Lake. They had this whole thing how they were going to round up these geese and gas them because the lake owners were ticked that they were pooping on their lawn. I mean, I thought Jim was going to blow a gasket over it.
Well, it got so bad down here at the airport that there was 2 or 3 guys that would bring out their Britneys, and they would run the deer off. They'd run the geese off the daggum runway, because geese, they start walking. Those Canadian geese, they don't get in a big hurry at all. So they would send the dogs out on the runway and to clear the geese off the runway, and then they would call them back, the dogs back, and then the jets would take off. It was funny as hell looking at them do that.
Yeah. Well, that ain't pooping on your lawn. If you live on a lake, you're just going to have to accept you're going to have some goose poop on your lawn.
Mm-hmm.
If I move back out on the lake, I'm not having any geese on my pooping on my lawn.
You better not be addling eggs, Tom, or we're not going to be friends.
I will have a dog that likes to chase geese.
Oh my God, there's a place over here, because these rich people here on our chain of lakes, they have real taxidermied coyotes on their lawn. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life because they're out in the rain and stuff, so the hides are getting all jacked up. Real taxidermy coyotes on their lawn to try to keep the geese off their yard, and the geese sit there with those taxidermy coyote mouths. It's funny.
Stubbs, if you want to fish Lake Marion, then there's a place called Black's Marina, and they have a campground, they have a marina to put your boat in and out of. They have they also have like mobile homes that they rent.
I gotta go get a box. I'll be back.
We stayed down there. We stayed down there 2 or 3 times. My mom and dad, before my dad's health got bad, they would go down there a lot. They'd pull the pontoon boat down there and stay down there and fish for a week. But it's on the Tailrace Canal, which connects Lake Marion to Lake Moultrie. So when you're coming out of the marina, if you go to the left, it takes you back up to Lake Marion. If you go to the right, it takes you to Lake Moultrie. And for those that don't know, the Tailrace Canal is just a canal that connects the 2 lots to the lakes together, and the water continuously flows from one to the other downstream. And it's so long that the water does not. I mean, if you cut your engine, you're going to flow towards Lake Marion, Lake Moultrie, but it's not like it's a raging river down through there. I grew up in Rock Hill, Stubbs. Northwestern High School, class of 1976. Go Trojans. Or as our arch rivals over in Gaffney, South Carolina would say, go Condoms. Yeah, it's about an hour. Pulling a boat from Rock Hill to Lake Marion is about an hour and a half drive. Sometimes, depending on when you're going, it can take up to 3 because of the traffic going through Columbia. I know the name, and I'm pretty sure I know the name. And not real clear. Fishing and hunting. That's one of the most expensive hobbies you can have. Because you always got to have something. You can have a lot of rain and the lake could go from clear to muddy, and then you got to have a different type of fish. I mean, a different type of lure to fish with.
Yeah, but if you know how to do either one, you'll never starve.
Yeah. Well, I can fish. And when I lived out on the lake, I fished a lot. And my neighbor fished a lot. He was retired. I was in my 30s, early 30s, and he would I would come home from work, and his wife would have already packed a picnic basket with sandwiches or whatever she decided to put in it, and he would be waiting at me at the foot of my dock, ready for me to go. If I needed a rod and reel, I always had to go get them out of his boat because they stayed in there all the time. But we fished all the time. And really my favorite type of fishing is worm fishing when you use a rubber worm, because when the water gets real warm here, you would like cast way out and you just slowly bring the worm back so it's just like bouncing off the bottom of the lake. That was a real nice, relaxing way to wind down from a busy day.
I love to catfish.
I do too.
Especially at night. Just sit there and wait.
Yes, and Stubbs, if you want to do some catfishing,
Yeah.
go out. You can catch some big old catfish down on that lake. I mean, big ones.
It's like
I never caught a catfish. Never have caught a catfish.
I'm waiting for the catalpa trees to come in season because that's when the catalpa worms are on there. We put those catalpa worms and take the heads off of them, turn them inside up, out, slide them on a hook. You talk about catching catfish.
We would you jump on about a 5-pound catfish with a lightweight rod and reel.
You think you got a whale?
You're gonna be the wine in a while.
We went to Winchester Pay Lake a few years ago. My nephew and I. He caught a 94-pound blue. That thing. He took him over a half hour to get that thing in. He held that thing up, and he's not quite as tall as me, because I'm almost 6 foot. He's probably about 5'8", 5'9", and he held it up under his chin, and that tail still dragged the ground. Thing was huge. I had one. We went to a place called Horseshoe Lake, and kids were still real little, and they were fishing, and it was nighttime, and I was off by myself down towards the bend of the horseshoe, and there was like a little embankment. Of course, it seems like it rained every time we get the kids fishing, and it was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my clicker started going, and that bobber took off, and I went to set that hook, and I set it into something. I thought I had hooked a tree, but whatever it was started pulling me down the embankment. I couldn't get that fish turned for nothing. And I'm not little. I mean, my life, I spent 22 years lifting 120-some pound boards off a cart onto a packing table too, before I got into management. So I mean, it's not like I can't handle a heavy fish, but that fish would not turn. Snapped my line like it was nothing.
Do you have to put a leader on with those, or no? They don't really have teeth, do they?
No, Pay Lakes, you're not allowed to use leaders. Not unless you make your own, like out of regular string. Like we double up our string and make our own leaders. But you're not allowed to use the lead leaders and all that like they sell.
Oh.
No.
We don't have
Especially
restrictions like that here. You can use a leader here.
We can't use treble hooks in Pay Lakes. We can use them anywhere else. We can use them in the river. We can use leaders in the river. But Pay Lakes, you have to fish with what you got. You can't give the fish a disadvantage, I guess, is what they're considering. So.
Well, what if you use a crankbait? You mean you can't have a treble hook on a crankbait if you're fishing for a different type of fish? Like a Rapella. Like a Rapella has a treble hook on it.
I think if you're paying to fish for catfish, they want you to just fish for that. But I think if you're fishing for bass or crappie or something like that, that's different.
Oh, okay.
But if your ticket says catfish, you better not have a treble hook.
Stubbs says he prefers fishing with an ultralight rig with a light tackle. Yeah, baby, you can jump on a catfish with some light tackle, and you'll have an exciting little adventure. We used to fish when we would fish up in the woods on Lake Marion. We would use like brim busters or heavier rods than brim busters, which are basically collapsible cane poles that are real flexible.
Yeah,
because you really can't cast because there's so many trees. And you're basically looking for like brim, which brim down on that lake can be the size of your hand or larger. Not like these little tiny things we have up on this lake. But
you got walleyes up down there, do you?
Do
you have walleyes?
I don't think so.
No.
I think
I love walleye.
Too cold, too warm down there, probably.
Probably so. Anyway, you jump on, you slip up and get a catfish or a little bass on that daggum brim buster, that sucker would be doubled over with trying to get it into the boat. And there's not a reel on it, so you got to just keep reaching until you can get him out the water.
Oh, but I was looking at your Lake Marion, and did I see something that they have like sturgeon in there?
I think so.
You have like a really limited season on them?
I don't know whether you can fish for sturgeon on the lakes itself. I think you have to be on where it's the river part of it.
Oh.
Because when you get to the lower end of Lake Moultrie, there's actually a lock that drops you down to the Cooper River. Because you can, and at times they do have some pretty big boats up on Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie because people can come up from the coast, from Charleston Harbor, and there's a couple of bridges that are drawbridges that they can go up under, and you can just, if you schedule for the lock, then you can go, take your yacht up on the lakes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting down there. Down there, if you like to fish. And hey, I hate that I led the conversation to boring people that don't fish.
I know, the poor reselling people are like, why are we talking about fishing?
Because let me tell you what now.
Because we don't just talk about reselling.
You can pick up some good fishing stuff at yard sales.
Yep.
Dang it. I just listed these gun books in the fishing category.
Oh boy. Wrong sport.
Let me go back.
I hate that when you're like talking in a hangout about something, and then if you're listing at the same time and you look at your descriptions and you'll see like a word that I'm like, no, that has nothing to do with this. This is what I'm talking about, not what I'm trying to describe.
And I never been fishing in my life. So there you go.
Have you never?
Never. No, my backyard was concrete growing up, Tom.
Everybody should fish at least once.
That's how I used to spend all my summers when I was a kid. I'd fish every day.
I grew up in the mean streets of Philadelphia. No fishing going on there.
Oh, God, I felt like you should start singing the Fresh Prince on Bel Air song when you said that.
Yeah, me somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a trip down the lake. Lothar 900 has a question. I have a question for everyone in the room. Does anyone sell catalogs? I collect new and old catalogs. That's my hobby.
Yeah, I have sold them. I don't have any right now. But like Sears catalogs or Wish books or pennies. Yeah, I've sold them.
What type of catalogs? I have a bunch of auction catalogs.
What kind of catalogs do you collect, Lothar?
Hey, Mickey.
Boy, I remember when I was a kid and that Christmas wish book would come.
Oh yeah. You'd be marking everything you wanted out of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I only want these like 30 items, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
We would do that. I wonder what my mother thought. My mother was, my father wasn't around, so it was just my mother. So we'd always get one thing that we marked in the catalog, but it must have been so hard for her. you know, I know it was hard for her to afford anything. So.
Well, you know, Christmas back when I was a kid. Oh, Lothar says he collects older catalogs, tool catalogs, Simpson, Sears, something unique.
Okay.
I don't know what a Simpson is. Back when I was a kid, Christmas was when you got your toys.
Right. You didn't get them at any other time of year.
You know, birthday, you got a little something, you know, some kind of toy. But it's not like it is now where every time the kid goes to the daggum Walmart, they're coming home with a toy.
Right. Yeah.
So Christmas
Are
was
you talking about, were you a little kid in the time where it was like a big deal if you got like an orange in your Christmas stocking, Tom?
no, that was after. I mean, that was before me.
It was a real treat if you got an orange for Christmas.
We did get fruit because you know Santa Claus would be around the Christmas tree and there would be fruit mixed in with it. You know, oranges, apples.
I'm just giving you shit.
That's okay. That's all right.
Tom,
My youngest son asked me one time, when I was a kid, did I have to pick up the phone and click it and say, "Would you connect me with, you know, BR459 or whatever?" I was like, "No, we always had a dial." A dial? What's that? The good old days. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have to have a phone on my hip every second of the damn day. Because I grew up, there was a phone in the kitchen, and that was pretty much it. And then I remember we thought we had gone big time, big city, when my mom and dad got an extension in their bedroom.
I remember a television set and the whole neighborhood coming in to see it.
Oh yeah. I remember we had the TV, you had to get up and turn the channels on, you know, with the old knob, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have cable TV.
When I lived down in Oak Creek, which was Milwaukee County, we didn't have cable TV either, but there was something my mom got it where she could get HBO. And then so we got only our cable was just HBO, the channel HBO. And then you had like this thing on the back of your TV, like an old Atari would have that would switch from TV to game, but it said TV to cable, and then you'd switch it down to that so you could watch HBO.
I remember what a big deal it was to get when they opened a PBS television station so we could get a fourth channel now.
Congratulations.
We had NBC, ABC, and CBS, and then we got PBS, and we were in hog heaven.
I remember when color TVs started coming out, and if you went to like Sears where they had a display and they had a rooftop antenna, and people they'd go ape shit crazy standing around the TVs waiting for was it ABC or NBC Peacock? ABC Peacock.
NBC.
NBC. When the peacock would fan its feathers and it would be all different colors.
In living color.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lothar said we used to have a floor model TV so big it had a record player on it and a bar.
We just saw one of them in the local Habitat Restore. They had this vintage, like 1950s console TV with the bar and the, yeah.
It's we have seen, okay, me and Todd maybe Maggie, have seen a lot in changes in technology.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, in our time, and it's right now. Yeah, the only thing kids have seen now are like the phones have gotten smaller. No, everybody's using cellular instead of a landline. Computers, they keep getting faster, but there's nothing really changed about them since the 70s.
I'm looking at this history of United States Army Base Hospital number 20, published in 1920. Very interesting.
Term will remember the comment about the orange in my mouth at Christmas. Oh Lord. I'll ask my mom and dad what Christmas was like as a kid before, Santa Claus came on the scene. And they said basically they had a shoebox that they would put out by the Christmas tree.
Nick.
And, Christmas morning, there would be a couple of pieces of like a fruit or two and some kind of nuts and then a toy. And that was it. And they were losing their mind over that. And some candy, some, hard candy. And that was it. Now, if a kid doesn't get up and there's not $4,000 worth of junk under the tree, I didn't get nothing. But then again, all that junk is the reason storage unit companies is building
That's true.
1,500 units in this district. And they seem to all be going to, was it environmental controlled ones, the heating and air. They're not building too many of the outdoor, the ones where you all open to the outdoors. And bless my grandmother's heart, she'd say, "You were lucky back when I was a kid. You were lucky to get anything."
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I wish it was that way. Sometimes Christmas just drives me crazy.
Yeah, you're right, Lethar. They were lucky. Wow, why did we do that?
So what's your plan for today, Tom?
I'm gonna do some more listing until I have to drop people off and pick people up. And
Tom's taxi service.
that's right. When I pick up Roberta at work, because I can drop her off right at the door or really close to the door of the building. And otherwise she'd have to park in a parking deck and walk, and she's still having some breathing issues. So I drop her off, and when she comes walking out, I always hop out and run around the car, and I open up the passenger front door and the passenger door, the back door, to put her stuff in the back seat. And she always greets me by saying, "I'm still not giving you 5 stars."
Back working full time.
Do what?
Is she back working full time?
Yeah. She was working even when the doctor told her not to be working, but she was working from home, and so she'd work a little while, then go lay down and whatnot,
Yeah.
because they have a bunch of imbeciles up there. Actually, what they have is a bunch of contractors that don't know what's going on. Lothar, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody showing up. I know I'm not as interesting or as pretty as Valerie and Sally are, but you just have to make do. Because Valerie's not gonna be back for about a month, isn't she?
Yeah, we'll be without her for a long time. Miss her already. But you look good today, Tom. You combed your hair.
Thank you. Somebody took my chapstick out of. You have smoother looking lips, not like they feel like they're dry. You have Wandering Marine. You have to drive 43 states this year. Are you a truck driver, or do you just like to get out and drive? Which my dad was always. If he didn't put 3,000 miles on a vehicle when we went on vacation, we hadn't done nothing.
Maybe he drives for the military.
He might. A bunch of these new people are people that I have met on other channels and whatnot.
Oh, okay. So not necessarily resellers.
No, they're not. But I have met a bunch of resellers that I have never heard of before, and I told them to check out this show, and if they checked out one of my videos, I have just about everybody as panel members on my night show, and
On your Thursday night show, you mean?
yeah, check out other people's channels and whatnot.
Where's
they're all-
Valerie? I've been gone so long. Is she like in Texas or something?
She's not in Texas yet, but she's taking off this week to get ready
Yeah.
Oh.
to go. Yeah. She's gone.
Why? But did I hear she's gonna be gone a month, or is that Tom joking?
No, she is going to be gone a month.
Oh wow.
She's going to Texas, and then she's going to North Carolina, and then Cali or something like that. I
Oh,
don't
so she's
know.
gonna go see the kids and stuff.
She's all over the damn place.
Is she going to California too? Is she going to go to like that?
I couldn't understand what she said.
I think is she going to California too? Is she going to see both?
Yeah, I think she's supposed to get. I think she's wanting to start hitting both kids twice a year, especially since she has grandkids.
Oh, I don't blame her in the least. If I had grandkids, that's what I would do. Oh, the pages of this book stick together. Dang it. This is a book of Army hospital. Ah,
I have a subscriber that I met on another channel, and she doesn't. She has a cooking show or cooking channel, and I answered me. She said, she named off all these old pots and pans that she has, and some, like different type of storage bowls and containers and stuff like that. She said, "Do you think they would sell on eBay?" And I keyed in a couple of the items on there, and I sent her the links that I came up with, and I said they look like they do pretty well.
Wow.
So she said she's going to look into selling some of that stuff because she bought new cookware, and then she texted me back later on, and she said, "You know what? Some of this old cookware sells for a lot of money." And I said, "Yep."
On YouTube, like she just
Do I?
cooking, and she posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
Very cool. That saved my life.
And I did not realize that there were so many of is it mukbang?
Oh, where people eat?
The eating shows? There is a bunch of those.
Wow, really? Like people watch them?
They have like 5,000 subscribers. I mean,
Jeez.
and they're really pretty. No offense, no one. I'm not being sexist, but they're really pretty girls and the really handsome young guys. They seem their views are like, they'll have 1,500 views, and the video's only a day or two old.
That's nuts. I can't even. Raphael says that true, especially Pyrex Tupperware. You can sell Tupperware on eBay?
Yeah, I've sold finished Tupperware.
Old Tupperware? Wow.
But it's got to be a good color and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be like the pinks and like that greeny color they had, or.
Okay.
I was watching Aunt Eckhart's estate sale video, and there was sitting on a table was an old Tupperware container, like my mom would put two 1-pound bags of sugar in it, and then she would dip sugar out of it with a measuring cup when she was making tea or whatnot. And I was going, buy that, buy that, I want that.
I didn't watch that video yet.
But it's I don't like to be watched while I eat too.
Yeah, me either.
But I guess if I was young and good looking and people going to in South Korea, and we were watching this one girl eat one night. She was eating Korean fried chicken, and people were dropping like through Patreon, but it wasn't Patreon. It was their own version of it. They would drop like $10 and $20 to these people while they're eating.
Huh.
And we're like, dang, these people are making a good living just off of eating. So I take it we won't see you for a couple of weeks once you leave Wisconsin.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, it's just hard right now. That's why I haven't really been on Valerie's show, because I've been doing other stuff in the morning and that.
Well, I appreciate you showing up on here.
Oh,
that's right. You heard your name being thrown.
I heard my name. It's like Batman when the light would go off.
Well, you should feel love that people were concerned about you.
Well, I'm still around. I just got this thing going on. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're probably not gonna hear a lot from me here the rest of the month or like July. Because we gotta get internet out there and stuff. I don't know how good my internet's gonna be, like for doing like this kind of stuff, like live hangouts and stuff like that. But we'll see.
You're in Kentucky. It's not like you're in Huntsville, Alabama. You know, you're in the
Yeah, I
real
don't know.
world.
I got this. I asked the guy across the street. He goes, "Well, you can get a high speed option, but they're also like old people that look at their email and like Facebook and stuff. So I don't know about like how it's gonna be for like doing these Google Hangouts and stuff. But we'll see what happens."
Well, you're going to have a good speed so Brandon can continue to play his games and whatnot.
Yeah, that's also one of my worries. Well, we'll see what happens. But we're in it now, so we're gonna see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be good enough for. I know we'll be able to sell on eBay and stuff there. I'm just worried about like the high speed stuff.
Right.
But I'm not that far from town, so maybe they'll expand it out that way. I don't
Because
know.
you don't have cable TV.
No, I don't believe so.
No, I'm talking about now.
Oh, I could have it if I wanted it.
But
Yeah.
you don't because you don't want it.
Yeah, because I get my DirecTV for free.
For free.
For free.
Okay.
Don't you get that special DirecTV plan where you can get it for free? You have to be one of their preferred customers, then they don't charge you. Oh, well, you should try to hook up with that.
No, because my wife works for a cable company and we get all that shit for free.
Oh, there you go. No, my in-laws, their DirecTV account, because they used to have a house up here on the lake.
Uh-huh.
So their main residence in Florida has DirecTV, but you can get it at your cabin or like vacation house where you pay for an extra receiver to get DirecTV there. So
Right.
we have their old house receiver from here, and we just they just let us have it.
Cool.
Anyway, but
well, that's not a bad deal.
no, you can't get local channels because they won't let you get the locals but this doesn't make sense because it's a Florida thing. But they don't let us get the Florida locals either. We don't get either the locals, so but whatever.
And AT&T just finished running fiber optics through our subdivision.
Yeah. I kind of in this holler, and it, it's like, I don't know, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. It doesn't get real good cell phone signal in there and stuff. So part of me is a little worried. It's like the Bermuda Triangle in there. Anyway.
I was hoping Nikki would at least be listening and she'd say, "Hey, I'm listening."
Is she even home yet?
She's at home. She worked 10 hours yesterday.
No, really?
Mowing lawn. Yeah, she posted that late, like 10 o'clock last night.
Oh, I didn't.
On the chat. There was a drone. There's a drone channel. The guy lives up in that area, and he was flying over Duluth, and it was snowy, and he was flying over Duluth with his drone, and it was really, really pretty up there.
Wow. She said,
Oh, I was up there. I mean, Duluth is really pretty. It's worth going to see in the summer. Honestly, it really is. There's some really cool stuff you can check out. They got that train you can ride. They got that huge train museum. They got a ship museum. You can go out on the lake. They have like those tour boats or whatever that go out on the lake. It's worth seeing. It's cool.
I saw a YouTube video yesterday because everything you see on YouTube is true. That Canada was banning drones. Was that a bunch of BS, or is that true, or have y'all heard anything about that?
I don't know. I don't live in Canada.
Well, y'all right there on. Well, not you, but
Well, Nikki's like 6 hours south of Canada because she's in Duluth, but I mean, there's quite a bit of Michigan, Minnesota that goes north of her.
Well, Canada's right across Lake Superior.
Yeah, but Lake Superior is like 100 miles across it.
Well, that's beside the point.
We don't swim across to the Canadians and go visit them or something.
I'm gonna start calling you Roberta. Well, I just figured y'all got people that live
Oh, no,
near the
she's
border.
closer
Y'all
than
got
I
all
thought.
the information.
She's like 3.5 hours to Thunder Bay, so she's closer than I thought. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Canada. I'm American.
Well, I figured you had been paying attention in case they invaded, from the north.
Yeah, okay. I don't think they're gonna try.
According
I
to
know
my
I've been to
mother-in-law, they've been
Canada.
invading now for about 40 years. Only they just don't ever go back.
I've been to Canada fishing. I mean, and like I was up by Sioux Lookout, which would be like 3 hours or 2.5 hours north of International Falls. But yeah, I mean, you got to go to a special liquor store. You can only buy so much liquor. I mean, yeah, they're a lot more regulated than up here.
But it's so
I like my
wonderful up
freedom.
there.
What?
It's so wonderful up there.
Yeah, well, that must be why they have to limit how much you can drink. It is beautiful. It's a lot like here. It's a lot like northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, UP, and Michigan. It's pretty there. I mean, it's cool looking. I mean, it's worth going to go visit. I don't want to live there though. And now that you're telling me they banned where you can't fly drones around, sounds like more government regulation to me.
The guy could have been being satirical about it, but he acted like he was pretty serious about it. Being that's what his channel is about.
I know you got these things up there, like in the tundra and stuff. They're not Walmart. They're called Northmart. And I've watched like documentaries on them, how they're like ripping the people off on these Northmart stores or whatever. Anyway, it's kind of interesting.
I'm just, as a Southerner, I'm just amazed that people, like the people who live, there's a PBS show, I think it was PBS, or maybe it was History Channel, where the people lived along the side of the railroad up in Canada. And they would have to walk down the trackaways and put out a flag so the train engineer would start slowing down so he would stop so they could get on the train to go to town, whichever direction he was headed.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw that.
Yeah, no.
That's a little bit too wilderness for me. Which, if Domino's don't deliver, that's a little too far out in the country for me.
Yeah, like where Nikki's at. I mean, she's like a big city compared to me.
To you?
Yeah, to me. I mean, Duluth is a pretty big city compared to where I live in Wisconsin.
Well, the place that Sally lives at, she must be like y'all. It must just dry up when it's not,
Yeah, she's not in the Upper Peninsula, but she's in the Lower Peninsula, but in the northern part of it. And I think it's a big, like, tourist fishing town type kind of thing. But she's probably better than me because you still can go over to wherever the hell, like Lansing, maybe not that, but I forgot the other name up there. It's probably not quite as northern as me, but yeah, she's up there. The UP, I mean, yeah, there's places there just ain't nothing.
Now, Laura, you're over by Columbus, aren't you?
I am south of Columbus, about an hour south of Columbus, about a half hour north of Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati's on the Kentucky border, so you're like a half hour north of the Kentucky border up there.
Yep.
Okay, is Columbus the one that's up on the Great Lakes?
No, it's in the middle of the
No, that's
state.
Cleveland. Cleveland
That's
is the Great Lakes. Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks. For the or yeah. Can't think of the word. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's where it's at. It's in Cleveland.
My boys want to take a road trip. They want to go to the amusement park that's in Cincinnati, or
Kings Island.
yeah, and then go up to the one that's up at the top at Cleveland.
Yep, Cedar Point. Cedar Point now owns Kings Island, so
Yeah, they own Carowinds too.
Kings Island is literally 10 minutes from me. If
Really?
Yeah, Jim wants to go to Kings Island too.
Yeah, I keep saying if you guys come up this way, stop by, we'll have a fire pit party.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna be till after we're all moved and stuff. Because I think, like, okay, I'm like a little over an hour and maybe an hour and 10 minutes south of Lexington. So Lexington to Cincinnati's got to be like another hour, I think.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
Maybe
not
a
too
little
bad.
more. Yeah.
I mean, if you drive the truck, it's not like you're going to be riding the horses.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget, how are you?
good. How are you?
Where you been?
Well, I've been going through 96 pieces of clothing from this box. So,
Did you find everything you were looking for?
what was I looking for?
Somebody was looking for something they had sold.
Yeah, not me. I'm like, I don't know. Did I find it? Yeah, I found it. Thank you.
A bulk box of clothing?
Yes, I got a bulk box of clothing.
Are you gonna do like an unbox?
Well, it's mostly like accessories, like bras and underpants and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I did a video. I'll post it after Tom's done. So,
Awesome.
How many did you ship out today, Bridget?
I don't know. I haven't shipped anything yet. My shipper isn't up yet. Huh? Let's see. I'll tell you. My shipping department hasn't woken up yet. I've been repricing my Amazon. That's what I was doing all morning. Going through everything, repricing.
Gotta do that.
It's so funny. Like, as soon as you reprice something, it just seems like it sells immediately. And I'm like, how is it? I can see how that would work on eBay because you have watchers. But I don't know how that works on Amazon.
I don't know.
Or like when you load new stuff, it seems like a lot of the old stuff sells too.
As soon as I get that message that your Amazon box is checked in, old stuff starts selling.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I have 17 going out today, Tom.
FBA or just eBay? You have
17 eBay going out today. Yeah, and 1 Poshmark. No, I sent in 11 boxes on Sunday, and I sent in 2 more yesterday. I'll probably have another box to send in today.
You're just going to become a regular FBA or leave eBay, aren't you?
I'm not leaving eBay. No way. Nope, I'm not. I like the money from both. Are you kidding? So, Tara, you all moved in yet?
No, I mean, well, Jim is gone with Brandon. I'm up in Wisconsin.
Oh.
Brandon's moving in.
Huh?
Tara's not.
No, I got
Brandon's
the
already
farrier
moved in.
coming tomorrow. I'm taking care of the horses. I had the farrier coming tomorrow. I'm trying to keep eBay going while I'm here. So
Ugh. Don't sell anything big.
I made Jim pack up anything that was bigger, and then all like the bigger stuff, I put 10-day handling on. We had like the antelope head, this gun reloading press. I'm like, yep, this stuff's going on 10-day handling. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, I did that. I did that yesterday. I'm like, yep, this stuff's all going on 10-day now.
I don't blame you. I do
Not
this
the regular stuff, just the obscure,
Right.
hard to patch stuff.
yeah, like the huge crap that he usually packs.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing. Oh, yeah. Just thinking.
We had a good show. We talked about fishing for about 45 minutes.
Well,
I gotta go
That's
get
not
a
my-
box. I'll be back.
I'm glad that I missed that then. I'm not a fisher person. I'll sell you fishing stuff, but I don't do it.
Yeah, I've been communicating with a couple of people that I have met that collect fishing stuff,
Oh,
and I've been trying to get. They're contemplating coming on a Thursday night show and talking about, collectible stuff that they look for, and maybe make up a wish list or something like that.
well, I always have fishing stuff all the time. Unfortunately, sometimes just like to buy, 250 fishing poles at one auction.
I have fishing stuff too, but I
Did you
use
buy
it.
that or Chris buy that?
Huh?
Did you buy the 200 fishing poles, or was that Chris?
Oh no, that was not me. I was not at that auction, and he has never gone to an auction by himself since. I'm just saying, that was
Did
not me.
Did you sell all the fishing poles?
It doesn't matter, Tom.
Yes, it does. Kathy?
Yes, we sold them. Yes, we sold them.
Okay.
But here's the deal with that.
Okay.
Okay,
Later.
I went to an auction with my son on a Wednesday. We got an amazing deal on a brand new Toro snowblower for $100. Anyway, the guy used it 3 times, one season. So that's in the back of my van, along with a bunch. It was a plumber that was going out, a plumbing company that was going out of business. So I had boxes and boxes of stuff in my van, the snowblower. So we're on our way back from the auction, and we get in a car accident. And it was right on the expressway, going 60 miles per hour. This girl just freaking stopped dead in the lane, and I smashed into her. So totaled my van.
Ugh.
So
Now this is not the van you have now.
no,
This
is
is
why I
the
have
one
a van.
before that.
Yeah. And so that was a Wednesday. Well, Saturday, there was an auction, but I was dealing with the insurance company this whole time. They're calling me. So I said to Chris, you know what? I just don't feel, I was sore. I'm like, just go to the auction by yourself. So I'm not feeling well to begin with. I'm sore. My van just got totaled. Now I need a new vehicle. I'm waiting for the insurance company, and he comes home with 200 fishing poles. Yeah, it wasn't a good day.
Well, why
So
did you send him to the auction then? It's your fault. You never
My
should
fault.
send him to the auction.
Oh, okay.
Am I not
So-
right, Todd? She sent him to the auction to buy something, and he bought something.
Lots of something sounds like.
Yeah, lots of fishing poles. That's all. And I go, is that all you bought? Well, I bought this box. It's a little box with a couple CB radios in it. That's it. I'm like, seriously? But whatever. He did sell them, most of them. Some of them were broke, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know why he griped so hard about the fishing poles because he sold them all.
Well, let's bridge it.
Todd?
Todd, he thought without her input, and That's not allowed. You've been married long enough to know that.
You see a truck pulling in with all these fishing poles, a Colorado hanging out of the freaking back.
But he got a lot of looks on his way home.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He got a lot of looks when he got home too.
I'm thinking that guy really likes to fish. You know what?
We had to actually rent.
Pull into a pay lake.
I told him, I said, go down to the marina with him.
Yeah.
And just start selling them off. But
I could have.
we had to rent a small storage unit just to store them in there. Because what do you do with 200? Well, it wasn't even just 200 fishing poles. It was 200 fishing poles and 2 big boxes of reels. So
Sounds like money to me.
it was.
Yep.
He paid $2 a piece for the poles, and he got a lot of ugly something. What are they called?
Ugly stick.
And those sell pretty good. So
Yeah, those are carbon.
he did good. I can't say he didn't do good, but now every time we go to
He
an
paid
auction,
$2 for ugly. If he paid $2 for ugly sticks, he did really good.
yeah, that's what they were, $2 a piece.
Yep.
But now every time we go to an auction, if fishing poles come up, the auctioneer looks at Chris, Bernie looks at him, he's like, okay, $5. He's like, and he buys all of them all the time. So
Yeah, TW Holiday. I've sold a couple of things during the early hours of the morning that have been listed for years.
I know. Isn't that crazy? But hey, that's good. I don't think they have anything that's been listed for years, but
No, I'll list it and I don't worry. I mean, I play with the price on it, but I've listed it. I've taken the pictures. A lot of stuff I have 2 cents involved in, so
right.
it's just lazy.
I have to go through things.
Sold those Coca-Cola pants for $45.
Oh wow. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Those were some nice looking pants. Hey Maggie, I like your hair.
Oh, thank you.
That's cute.
Yeah, I went a little short.
I like it.
Something different. Thank you.
Well, good job, Todd, on that.
I'm
Hey, Karen.
contemplating cutting all my hair off. It's driving
No.
me crazy.
I know mine does too, but I just put it up in a ponytail.
Yeah, I just decided. So,
I think it's just because it's hot.
Right.
I'll just throw it in a hat and go on with my day.
Todd, are you still high bidder on the flooring?
Yeah, it's at $165 for the batch we want now. I looked it up on Home Depot. That batch would, about it new in the box, would be over 2,000. So
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
165 is a pretty good price.
Yeah, it is. Woohoo! Way to go, Gwen. Getting a new floor.
But then I called Home Depot and asked how much it would be to pay for an installer, and they said they get $2 a square foot. And I was like, nope, I'll do it myself.
Well, how many square feet are you doing?
The package has like 700 square feet in it.
So $1,400 for them to do all of it?
We'll do most of it. Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. That's tough. I've done floors before, and my knees are worth more than $1,400.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at that same thing. It's like, I do not want to do it, but I have to. I got to rip up my foot.
Doesn't it? Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. You like can't move the other next day, and you're like, I don't even want to leave on it.
I know one thing. This time I'm painting my floor in my bathroom with Flex Seal. Before I put anything down, I'm tired of water.
With what?
Flex Seal. I'm going to seal my bathroom floor with it.
That is funny. Hey, if it works, it works, you know. Oh my gosh, I remember my old house. I ripped up. I can't say we. I ripped up the whole living room. And I mean, this was an old farmhouse, so these rooms were big.
Mm.
And it had 2 layers of carpet and probably 4 layers of linoleum. And then under all 4 layers of linoleum, there was another small carpet under it. And the dust was just crazy. Because this house was built in the 1800s. So,
Wow.
oh my gosh, the dust was just, ugh. And then I put laminate hardwoods in the whole thing. And I don't ever want to do flooring again. That hurt. And then I did the dining room. I did living room and dining room.
Yeah, I got to rip up my office floor over there and my bathroom floor. Between the washer problem, the clogged pipe, and my air conditioner pipe, drainage pipe being backed up into my floor, I have to replace all that stuff.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to that.
Nope.
Hey, Madame Renault is here.
Huh?
Madame Renault. Kathy, she just popped in.
She did. I don't see her.
I don't see her.
Hey, Kathy.
She in the chat?
No. She's in the chat.
Oh,
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
That's what I was thinking. What the heck are you talking about? Oh, I don't even have the chat up. Let me get the chat up.
hi, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you, Karen and Kathy.
I need this.
I didn't even look at the chat. Sorry, everybody. If you said hi. If not, anyway.
Karen wants everybody to hit the like button.
Well,
I have this.
even if we don't like Tom,
Yes.
I hit the thumbs down.
Okay, well, let's find a comment is a comment.
I didn't.
That's fine.
I wouldn't do that.
I was watching this show that I'm going to avoid because apparently there's a shitload of drama going in on that show.
Drama? What? What the what?
I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, geez. Please don't get Tara and Nikki going again. Tom, you weren't in the chat during the whole drama season.
Yeah. Hey, honey. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm sure you'll think of something.
I was listening to her chat. Drama. What was?
Thumbs down is what initiated it.
Yeah.
She had 17 thumbs down in about 5 minutes.
Here we go. He got it. It's back.
That's what it was. 17 thumbs down in about 5 minutes.
Wow.
I didn't hear anything that justified that
Well,
many. I didn't hear anything to justify a thumbs down at all. So
she must have like some haters, and then they get multiple accounts, and they just go through all their accounts and thumbs it down. You said if you get them real fast like that, it's like 1 or 2 people, but they have like 10, 12, accounts or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, there are.
People don't have anything better to do with their lives.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
oh God, here comes the neighbor. Anyway.
hey, 30 and hating it. You need to get over that. When you get to be 60, then you can think about start hating it.
Hating what?
30 and hating it.
Oh,
The show that popped in.
30 and hating it? Are you kidding me? I would love to be 30 again.
I'd have to back up 30 years just to be 30 again.
I know. I was talking to somebody yesterday who was depressed because their 30th birthday was coming up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh, girl, get over it.
Tell her to just wait until her, 45th birthday comes up.
Yeah.
Not in our middle age nowadays. We're not old. We're middle age.
You're middle age?
Yeah.
Me and
Are you-
Todd.
60 is the new 30.
Okay, you're
60
planning
is the
on
new 40.
you're planning on living to your 120?
Well, people are living to be 112 now, and
Yeah. I'm
you
middle-aged.
look wonderful, Kathy. Gorgeous. She
Ooh,
said, Kathy said she turned 49 yesterday. I said, and you're looking gorgeous.
she does.
Jim's 1 year away from getting senior citizen discounts.
Oh my
How old
God.
is he?
Well, he'll be 54. So 55, like, well, I guess shop goes out of business, but like some of the stores have like the senior discounts.
Yeah. Well, good luck, because Chris was all excited when he turned 55 and then found out that most places don't start until you're 60 now.
No, maybe they changed it.
That's
Yeah, I guess Shopko technically is going out of business, so you can't rock that.
He was so disappointed.
Sherry does not want to live to be 112.
No, I don't either.
Me.
Well, if I could have the chassis I'm in right now, it'd be 112, sure, but it never works out that way.
No, you'd be in a nursing home 112.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're an old lady
Yeah,
that's having
I
a
don't
hard
want-
time getting around.
I don't want to be in a bed just barely hanging on.
Drooling all over.
If I'm mobile and
Right,
that's different. Where I can
Oh, yeah.
still go and do things. I
right.
just don't want to be stuck in a bed because I just got one foot in the grave.
Yeah, my mom is, 89, and she's doing great. So, well, she will be 89 in July. God, she'd kill me if I said she was 89 now, I guess.
Yeah, I intend.
That makes you and Tara, Lori, Maggie.
What?
Just makes y'all are just children now.
Mhm.
Y'all are
I feel
adolescents
like that.
again now.
Well, tell my body that.
I feel like that when my sciatic is acting up and I can hardly walk around. Yeah, I
I know,
feel like
right?
a child.
Like, oh, you're limping all over the place.
Yeah.
Yep, you feel like children.
Yeah, when you're taking your nightly like Tylenol PM so you can get a good night's sleep.
Yep.
I need my pain medicine with the sleep aid now, please.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'll be 60 next year. Oy.
Oh, Chris will be 62 next year. I'm thinking about taking him on a cruise for his birthday.
I was thinking of taking Michael on a cruise for his birthday. He'll be 70.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to
Dang,
do.
he married a young chick. How old were y'all when y'all got married?
He's a cradle robber. I was 22. He was 32. Was I 22? Yeah.
Wow.
I was. I'm glad you put that. You prefaced it with I was 22 because if you had left that part out and said, "Oh, 22,"
Oh, yeah.
I
No,
would be like, "Ooh,
he's not that much of a cradle robber.
are you?" I thought you were a Yankee.
We're
Not
from the north.
Mississippi.
Well, Jim is how much older than you, Tara?
8 years.
8 years. Okay. Chris is 13 years older than me.
I'm 10 years older than Roberta.
Yeah.
New cradle robber.
I know, right? Like, look who's talking.
Oh, let me tell you what. I have heard when you were 18, Dad, that means Mom was, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I did not meet your mother till I was in my 30s and your mother was in her 20s.
Oh, I tell Chris that all the time. I'm like, do you know the year you graduated was the year I started kindergarten?
Jim graduated high school when I was 10. So well, honestly, Jim, I went to school in Waukesha County and he lived like just north of me for a little while when he was married to his first wife. I'm like, oh, do you realize like when I was in high school and like 16, you were like starting a family just a little bit north of me? Anyway.
I think about that all the time because Chris was from a town that when I was young, we used to always, that was a town we went to go grocery shopping and stuff like that. And it was a smaller town. I'm like, do you realize when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, you probably saw me?
You want to hear something really weird? Okay, so I moved up here to northern Wisconsin in 1993. So the summer of '93, I was getting like real estate showings, looking at pieces of property. And I went into Jim's office, because I was 20, to go look at property. And they were all gone at a convention, but there was one woman there who showed me some property who was Jim's ex-wife.
Oh, funny. That's funny.
It's just weird what a small world, how y'all go around anyway.
Yep.
It always reminds me of that couple. Did you ever see the story of that couple who got engaged and then they were showing I guess the husband to be, the boy's family, his mother was showing old family photos to the girl, and there was a photo of them in Disney World. So they're in Disney World walking down Main Street, the boy holding hands, and they're passing by this family sitting on the curb waiting for the parade, and in the stroller is the girl.
Wow.
Oh, how cool.
Sitting on the curb waiting for the parade. He's walking by with his family. They snapped a picture of it, and years later they end up meeting each other and getting engaged.
Oh, wow.
That's weird.
Small world.
That's just so sweet. Kathy, you got your boy toy, girl. Just remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kathy. You have a little toy.
For Marcel, yeah.
Make sure you don't break your toy.
When Jim was managing the shoe store, because I I went to high school like 4.5 hours south of where I'm living now. He lived maybe about a half hour north of me up in Beaver Dam. He managed a shoe store. I go, do you remember like all the girls coming in buying wrestling shoes? He's like, oh my God, I do, but they wouldn't buy any of mine. Because when I was in high school, it was a big deal. It was like real fashionable, at least in my high school, where the girls would all buy these A6 wrestling shoes. They had to be black with the white. But he didn't, at his shoe store, they didn't carry A6. They only carried Puma. And none of the girls wanted Puma because they all wanted A6. Anyway. And just think about it, Jim. You could have been, like, if you just sold A6, you could have been selling me a pair of wrestling shoes.
I know, right?
That would have been creepy as hell.
Weird.
It's funny how things happen like that, you know? Like Chris's ex-wife, you know, she was a cashier at one of the department stores. It was Ames department store, where we used to shop when I was little. And I'm like, I was probably like in the stroller or something, and she waited on my mom. That's pretty weird.
Oh, God.
One of my high school buddies bought a house down in Rock Hill. And when his parents came, it was one of the old homes downtown on Oakland Avenue. His parents came into town because they live in Hilton Head. Anyway, they came to see the house, and his dad walks in the door and he says, you know, I lived in this house until I was 10 years old. And Jerry said, what? He said, I lived in this house till I was 10 years old. He said, watch this. And he's like, Dad, you're lying. He said, no, watch this. And he walked over to the fireplace and stuck his hand up in the fireplace and pulled a lever. And a section of the wall, about a 3-foot section of the wall, released. And you could push it open, and there was a room back there.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's kind of cool.
He said, I don't know what was weirder. That somebody could have been living in that room and we'd have never known it, or the fact that I had bought the house that my dad's grandmother owned.
It's really weird.
It is. Yep. It's a
So
small world.
they took the panel of the wall out and put a door there, and that's their library now. Because it was must have been about 8 by 12 room. And when he was telling me about it, well, I went by there just to see the house. And he was showing it to me, and I was walking. You know, you walk around the other rooms, and you're like, something just don't look right, because you know there's a big gap in the walls or a big space that you can't get into the rooms. So they think that at one time that there was a way to get, like, it was, the kitchen was on one side of it, so they think it was a pantry.
Oh, okay.
And they walled it up and put the secret door in it.
When like where I go, Thousand Islands, there's Singer's Castle, and they have all these secret passageways that, you know, and it's the same thing. You go from room to room, and you could tell like something's weird with the rooms.
Right.
And there's like secret passageways and stairways and stuff like that that the servants would use. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have to wake up my shipping department.
Oh, boy.
Sounds like you said, I'll bear back. Kathy, y'all headed home yet? Did anybody have any problems with eBay early this morning?
I guess last night it went down.
Yeah, somebody said earlier in the chat that eBay had problems last night.
Yeah, like wee hours of the night or very early morning, it was down. When I got up, it was working fine. Because I started doing my shipments at like, I don't know, must have been 6 or 6:30. It was fine then.
Tara, were you the one that was back when Tractor Supply was having like a big clearance thing?
Oh yeah, I did. I think I told you about it, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, I bought these.
I bought a couple of those too. I think I might have sold mine. I can't remember.
I sold mine this morning.
What did I get there? I got a bunch of cheap toy tractors. I bought some veterinary kit. I sold those, I think. So, and the little jug band. I sold some of those. Something else. I can't remember what the other thing is. The Ertl tractors have been moving kind of slow, but
I've sold everything, and the only thing I have left is that right there. And I bought some tractors. I bought some John Deere lawnmowers.
Yeah, mine haven't really gone. I still have my lawnmowers. They're gone priced too high, but I mean, well, if I have them at fourth quarter, that's probably fine too, though.
Well, all of a sudden, all this stuff started selling, and I have not been doing any listing, so I can't say. I mean, I didn't list much of nothing last week.
Did you do the Nightmare Before Christmas thing at Walgreens? That when they had 90% off?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, that one I did good on. That one I sold all the plushes. I think I have like a couple of the round pillows left at all. That one, I came in, I forgot it was listing challenge day. I thought you're on a private hangout. I'm like, oh yeah, Walgreens got like 90% off of this Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Shoot, Kathy didn't even say goodbye. She just ghosted and left. She did really good. She actually did really good. They had pretty good stuff left at her Walgreens.
Our Walgreens I don't know if it gets bought out before I hear about it or what. I should be going by there every day.
Well, I don't know. I don't do ours that much either, but then at Christmas time they didn't have as good a clearance as they did at Halloween, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they bought as much at Christmas time. I mean, their inventory wasn't as heavy as it was.
I'm buying the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff while they're setting out the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which is virtually almost the same product as they're clearancing at 90% off because it was out during Halloween. I'm like, this doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Yeah, I had a couple things left from that. I was able to send them into Amazon, so I just sent them in.
Oh.
Get rid of them.
Like
I went into Walmart.
Like all the plushes I had, I put them in pairs, Jack and Sally. I mean, the last month they just went. I don't know if the supply dried up or what, but they all went. All I got left is a couple of pillows.
That's what I had left was the emoji, Sally emoji pillows.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that movie. I have never seen that movie.
Are you kidding?
Never.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm a grown up.
Excuse me?
I'm
Nothing.
grown up too, but I still like Scooby Doo.
I was in Walmart, and I know the home and garden person, and I just made this joke about because she was clearing off a couple of aisles of shelving, and I said, "Oh, you getting ready to set Christmas?" And she said, "How did you know that?" I said, "Oh, well, I was just making a joke because it's not August yet." She said, "No, we're starting to prep for Christmas."
Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Now I must say
That
this,
surprised me.
they're in a store. It's probably like the number one store in the Carolinas. They sell a lot of everything. Actually, their manager tried to, you know how they have the home and garden section that's totally inside the building, and then they have another section that's like got fiberglass roofing on it, and it's only walled up so high. Her manager tried to get the district manager to approve for him to finish closing it in, and they were going to have perpetual Christmas in that room.
All year round?
All year round. Because they get so much stuff in there, they have to start setting it up.
That's wrong.
Like, normally they start setting it up in August.
Huh.
But she's like, "How'd you know that?" And I was like, "I was just joking."
Don't keep rushing this stuff.
Our Walmart up here does not have very good clearance, honestly.
Ours doesn't either. It sucks.
Once in a while, once in a great while, but not real
Your
great.
what?
Our Walmart does not have very good clearance here.
Ours sucks too here. I mean, I've done tons of scanning and looking. I just can have. I'll find maybe one thing or a couple things, but nothing much.
I think one of the days next week that Sally's going to have the show, I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to just go out the whole day, and I'm going to scan all day long. Just to see what I can come up with.
We'll get bored.
Because we've got 8 Walmart, a dozen Walgreens, a dozen, we probably got 2 dozen Family Dollars. Just to see what happens.
I got these nail polishes I bought like, I don't know. It's got to be a year ago. I bought like 120 of them for like $0.25 a piece, and I sell them for like $7.99. I mean, that's one of the better like Walmart clearances I've got.
Wow, that's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right, but honestly, because when they went on clearance, they must have went on clearance at multiple stores. They were really slow sellers, and then the last month and a half, they've really picked up. So I don't know if other people have finally run out of them or what.
I've been sorting jewelry for days.
With jewelry for days.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a pop-up jewelry show, another one. Not a marathon this time though, no.
Oh, come on.
This is just to unload all the extra stuff.
How's Mr. Tanner doing?
Today he wouldn't eat. So yesterday he ate a little bit, but today he just refuses to eat. So I think it's getting close that time because they say dogs once they're sick, they know when food is no longer beneficial to them. So and I'm expecting it's Tracy that I worry about. He's so tender-hearted. I mean, he's not in any pain or nothing like that. I think he's going to go peacefully. It's just I think we're going to wake up within the next month and he's going to be gone. So, I mean, that's my honest opinion. I mean, if he makes it that long, I'll be surprised. He is putting a little bit of weight on him. I've been able to get a little bit more weight on him, but it's not looking good for him.
Right.
So it's just a matter of time. So, but if I see that he's suffering in any way, then I'm going to take him and have him put down. Because
Right.
I can't do it myself. I know there's a lot of people that can do that, but I can't do it.
No.
I mean, the vet's going to have to take care of that for me.
Yeah.
To do what? Put them down?
Yeah.
People.
You know, I mean, there's some people.
The whole damn time.
What's that?
I'd sit there and boo-hoo the whole time. I couldn't do that. That's what a vet's for.
Oh, I sit with them until it's done, until they're gone. I sit there and hold them until they're gone.
Yeah,
So they're not alone. So it's not easy. I've had to do it twice, and it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to be even worse because he's like, he's like a child, like when we're kids. I mean, it don't compare to losing a child. I know that, but
No, right.
Still, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he has his good days and his bad days, and today's a bad day. So he growled at me when I tried to give him some eggs. I'm like, nope, I'm done. You'll eat when you're hungry, I'm sure. So, but he's probably gained about 3 or 4 pounds back in the last couple of weeks. So was a good thing. But now he's gonna lose it if we don't eat. So. But he was chasing the cats yesterday, so I thought, well, he's in a good mood today. But this morning, whole different ball game this morning.
Maybe you overdid it yesterday.
So I think I'm going to go because he was eating. I was frying turkey burgers for him, and he was eating those like they were going out of style.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, nah, I don't want that anymore. So trying to find something he will eat. So, but I think I'm gonna take Tom up on his suggestion about you trying puppy food and see if he'll eat that.
Yeah, you might.
Eating anything is a good thing. So, but it's just like when humans are sick. I think they don't feel like eating either. So,
hang on, I'm gonna mute you.
Huh?
I meant mute me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's having good days and bad days.
Well,
so
he's an old man, so
yes, he is. I mean, he's only 11, but still, in the dog years, that's
old.
Up there.
My baby girl turned 9 the first of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with when she's gone.
Well, I know I don't want any more pets right now, so because it's going to be hard enough. He goes, so. But I think if I ever did get another dog, I'd want one of those little French bulldogs. I think those are
Those are so
things.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want one too.
But they're so expensive.
I can't find one for under $2,000. And I just am not going to spend that much money on a dog.
No.
I know I can't afford that. I mean,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah, my nephew's wanted one forever and ever and ever. He's like,
They're too expensive. They are the cutest little things.
He's 5 years.
Boxers. I like boxers too, though. I think boxers are cute.
Oh, I had a boxer. Oh, I missed him so bad.
But
What is it?
What is what?
Do any of y'all watch Ann Eckhart? What are those little things that she has?
Oh my God, here we go.
Oh, she has pugs.
Little pugs, yeah.
I do not.
Maggie.
My ultimate favorite dog is a chocolate or a black lab. That's what I would love to have, but big dogs in mobile homes don't always mix.
Hey, ST Texas picker. Hi, Voodoo.
They wag their tail and everything falls off the wall,
Yeah, I got a chocolate lab. Getting old.
I had a chocolate lab. We named him. He was called Hershey.
Mine's Cody.
Hey, Voodoo Ninja. For some reason, my chat locked up, and everybody came spilling through.
All right. What have we got here?
Voodoo Ninja said he or she loves yard sales. Man, our yard sales around here is like going to a department store anymore. It's gotten so expensive.
But you must have good auctions out there by you, Tom. You're in an older part of the country.
I don't know, but I'm getting ready to find out.
You should.
Because I want to buy a box full of stuff like you and Bridget and Nikki do.
One box full of stuff.
Well, okay, boxes.
Okay.
Boxes of stuff.
Going out and you spending a day and you might find a couple of things. You might find a couple of things at yard sales. Yard sales too, but like thrift stores and whatnot.
Okay, these are.
Unless you're looking for clothes. Yeah, Bridget, I know. That would be a silly thing to even think.
If you went to an auction and you bought just one box of stuff, I'd be really disappointed in you. Unless it was a really bad auction, obviously. And you have to stay till the end, Tom. Don't pull a Todd.
Don't pull a Todd.
Yeah, stay till the end of an auction.
What, does Todd leave before the auction's over with?
It gets too hot. It's too hot. And he can't stand the heat. Yeah, that's what we heard.
I like it when it's hot because that's when all the old people drop off. And
Yeah, exactly. You get.
What's your zip code, Tom? What's your zip code?
28226.
Yeah,
when it's hot, it's nice because they're not going to last long.
Oh yeah, those old people are always complaining about the heat stuff, and then they just fly off like flies.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's why our auctioneer always says he prays for rain and cool weather, because that's what draws the people there. Because if it's raining, they sit under the tent and they don't want to leave because it's raining, so they stay.
Oh my God! Like you in your area, within 50 miles of you, you have like 12 auctions, Tom.
What?
I have like 2
What are you looking at?
auctions.
Wait, what is his zip code again?
28226. I'm gonna even shorten it up. Honestly, for him, I put it at 50. I'm gonna shorten it up to 30 miles.
Would you say these are bookmarks?
Oh, are they flat?
Well, they're beaded. They got wire in the center and they're flat.
They're not some kind of like display for like by a jewelry box, you don't think, or something.
I don't know. There's 3 of them.
Huh.
They're all identical.
Today there were 8 auctions within 30 miles of him.
He's got 5 within 30. Yeah, he's got 5 on Saturday within 30 miles of him.
Holy cow, Tom! What the hell are you?
Yeah, I
doing?
gotta have mine all the way out to like 100 miles from me.
Me too.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of.
Got an auction house right in Charlotte. Oh, that's general merchandise, though. You might want to get more antique.
There's a farm equipment and tools auction.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. Or the general merchandise.
What about farm equipment or tools?
That's where the money is.
I thought you were a farmer.
No, I have done some farming, but that's been a long time ago.
Okay. Okay, thanks. I'll be back.
We got an auction this Saturday right up the road from me, so that's where I'm going.
But I do. I'm trying to get all this crap sorted out and get rid of a bunch of stuff because I want to. I'm beginning to think these debt piles or death piles, whatever the hell they call them, I think people ought to just really just get rid of them and start all over again, because if I go out and buy something, when I get back to the house, I immediately list it. If I got a pile of stuff over here, I'll never get around to listing it. But that's just me.
I sometimes feel like that too. Just throw everything I have away and start afresh.
Start over. Oh, I got 4 of them things. There's another one in there.
They got one at Oakboro that looks kind of interesting, Tom. But they do add a 10. They have one in Oakboro that looks interesting. It's an auction house, but they add 10%.
Is that bad?
Well, it's a 10% buyer's premium, so for every 100 you spend, it costs $10.
I know, but is that bad or good or?
Oh, most of my auctions don't have a buyer's premium, so I don't like spending.
Oh, that's the reason I was asking if that was bad or good.
I think a lot of them, because it's an auction house on consignment, they do it to, reduce the commission to the seller. Consignment fee, I mean.
I'm going to assume that this is a belt.
I would say an awful big necklace.
All it needs is a clock. Can't say I've ever seen anything like that.
So you got a storage auction next week, Wednesday.
Yeah, there's a lot of storage auctions around here usually.
Tim said the ones around him, 10% is about average.
Yeah.
Buyer's premium.
Well, these are all portable storage units, though.
Like
Pods.
yeah. Yeah, I looked at one of those because I thought, well, if it wasn't too damn expensive to have one delivered, if you just rent it, if you get one and then it's full, just have them delivered to your house. But it's like $100 to have them deliver it. But you got to spend money to make money, I guess.
Sometimes.
It's true. I don't like the spending part. I just like the making part.
So Roberta, when we start building our house, I said I'm going to allow for in the budget for about an 18 by 24 building on a concrete slab.
For your eBay empire?
Do I?
For your eBay empire?
No, just so I can have a place to pile all my crap.
No.
My eBay empire. Is Jim setting up y'all's office while he's up there, or?
Probably not. No, our big concentration is getting a landing spot ready for the horses.
Okay.
I mean, I'm probably for a little while, I'm probably going to work out of that parlor there. There's a parlor in that house. I'm probably going to use that for a little while. We have this 2-story cabin there,
Right.
and we were going to make that our eBay thing. But then me and Jim were talking. He goes, "Why don't we set up that with like pinball machines and stuff like that? Because it's got that upstairs, and I don't know if me and you want to be walking up and down steps to eBay, and we'll just build a different building for our eBay. That'll be 1 story." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care." Because that upstairs in that cabin, I mean, I could put a bedroom up there, and then like if if like his kids wanted to come visit or something like that, it'd be like, "Oh yeah, great! Here you could use the bedroom in the cabin. Just walk in the back door to use the bathroom or something, you know." Anyway,
That'll be Brandon's clubhouse.
probably.
All the boys that come over there, hang out with him.
So I think that's what
Especially
we're
if
gonna do. But
Jim will put some of his art collection on the walls.
yeah, that'd be awesome. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But that's all steps. I mean, my biggest concentration right now is getting out of here and getting down there totally.
Right.
And then you know, having the horse thing set up and stuff. So I'm sure it will take us a couple of years. I want to get this other piece of land up for sale like by next summer. So I mean, I don't think I'll get it for sale this summer, but I would like to get it up for sale next summer. So it's like bigger priorities right now.
Are you going to list it yourself or have list it with a realtor?
No, I'm gonna sell it myself. I figured out I know I could sell real estate. You don't need a real estate agent.
Well, I didn't know whether since you were so far away that.
I don't think it matters. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I think I have like probably a 70-30 chance that I'm going to sell it right to these people that bought the other piece of property with the storage building because they've been asking me when I'm going to put it up for sale. So I think I'll probably end up selling it to them. But vacant land, I mean, I could just say, here's where it is. You could go walk around on it. There ain't nothing on it. They can't steal nothing. It's vacant land. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, because you know what? I've sold 4 pieces of property. I sold 3 of the pieces of property myself. That's me. I lined up the buyer and everything. I did it myself. And the 4th piece of property, the broker bought off of me. So, I mean, honestly, in this day and age, and my husband was a real estate agent. 15 years ago, I'd say, yeah, you need a real estate agent. The way it is now, if you're ambitious with Zillow and everything, you can do it yourself. It is not that hard.
Right. Hold on just a second. Voodoo Ninja, if you're still in here, thank you for coming by. We really appreciate you coming by. And I had a screen up. I was packing something and I didn't see your message. So sorry about that. And anybody else that has said something to me, let me read back over here. I need to get another computer. Okay. Continue on.
Well, anyway, I guess I'm done, but it isn't that hard. You can do it yourself. That's what I'm saying.
I love the way she refers to Jim as my husband. My husband was a real estate agent.
Well, no, but me and Jim talk about this. 15 years ago, I'd say yes, you need to have a real estate agent because there are benefits like the MLS listing and stuff like that.
Right.
The way it is now, I mean, with Zillow and Trulia, I mean, like when I bought the place in Kentucky, it popped up on Zillow. The only reason I called that real estate agent was because they were the listing office and I wanted to get a showing. I mean, I found the piece of property myself, and I think you could do the same thing on selling it. I mean, you know, sometimes people get nervous or whatever. It's not that hard. And you hire a title company to do the closing for you. And depending on what the property sold for, title policy ain't gonna cost more than $1,000. You're gonna lose 6% when you sell it. So, I mean, if you have it with a real estate agent, plus the closing costs. I'm ignorant. I'm not I'm not smart, and
Oh my
I figured
God,
out how
yes,
to
you
market
are.
my.
Oh,
I figured out how to market my own property.
No,
But
you're
that's my
smart.
point. Is it's not like you have to be like a professional. Like I'm a real estate professional. You don't have to be. It's not that. It's it's not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me on that.
first of all, you are very smart.
I know.
Yes. You are.
Very smart.
I'm not. I'm not educated
That's
smart.
okay. That doesn't always
Is
happen.
is Jim talking down to you? Do we have
No,
do
Jim
we
would
need to
never
have a
talk
talk with
down.
him?
No, Jim would never talk down to me.
Jim's too scared to talk down to her.
Yeah,
That's right.
okay. I don't ever
The,
see that happening, but
the drama will start through the
Scary.
internet again.
oh boy.
Don't start things, Tom. She already is in trouble for messing with Jim
Yeah.
and being mean to him.
One
Well, that's
minute
what I was
I'm
saying.
verbally
Started
abusing
rough
them, and
up again. That's the whole thing will start again.
Don't start
Uh-huh.
crap there,
No.
Tom.
No, we were at this estate sale, and there was this guy there they used to do a lot of real estate with. And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I really miss your dad, Jim." He's like, "Why? Because of real estate stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You know, I got this. You guys know any values of this kind of property?" He's like, "Listen, I've been out of it for so long that I really don't know." He goes, "To tell you the truth, my wife's a better real estate agent than I would be because she's been selling her own property." Anyway, not that I want to be a real estate agent, but it's just kind of funny.
That's a hard way to make a living these days.
Yeah.
It's always better to, well, if you're going to be a real estate agent, you better be very diversified. I will say that about Jim. I mean, they just didn't sell residential real estate. They were in Wisconsin Exchange Club. They sold a lot of these big commercial developments and like malls around the state, like these shopping malls and stuff like that. That helped a lot. And they would do these, if you get a notary, which actually it is pretty good money. If you get a notary, you get hooked up with these mortgage companies, or you do these mortgage signings, where you go to the person's house to have you notarize their mortgage documents or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they were doing pretty good. Jim's dad was really doing very good with that. I mean, a notary's cheap. I mean, I think it costs like $50 to get a notary or something. And then you got to get on the list. Actually, and he was making really good money on that. They did rentals. They own their own properties. They were flipping. I mean, you have to do it all. You can't just say, "Well, I'm a real estate agent," because I mean, you'll have thin times anyway. But I mean, that helps if you're diversified in the real estate industry.
South Texas Picker said they bought a building. Did you buy one of the manufactured like buildings and they bring it out and put in your backyard, or did you buy a building? Tori, y'all have like 25 acres in your new property? Is
Like
that what it
20.
is?
Like
20.
20.
South Texas Picker says a building, Tom.
Okay. It just popped up on mine. I've got some major lag going for some reason. Well, that's cool. My best friend bought some land over near Gaffney, South Carolina, because he thought he was going to retire and move over there and be a gentleman farmer and prepare for Zombiegeddon and the fall of the situation in the United States and blah, 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 blah. And he's got a big ass Quonset building on his property now.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
I could probably put my whole house in that damn Quonset building. It was an eBay store. Cool. But he's got the property up for sale. Just because he's got that big old Quonset building on it. Well, I don't know what they call them, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He's probably going to triple his money on it. because they got that thing priced high. Because when he had the slab poured for it, because it's got a concrete slab, he had it poured at industrial standards, so it's real thick. Machinery could be, it could be bored and machinery could be bolted down to it, that type of thing. So they do have a couple of guys that's got manufacturing businesses or, that type of stuff that's looking at it. Because it's got a nice house on it. They gutted the house and totally rewired it, replumbed it. Put sheetrock all the way through it. Good morning, BK Vanden. I've got to do an offline hangout and get some of these people in it.
That'd be fun.
And, get to know them and whatnot. Well, my shipping's done.
I had no shipping to do today. No sale.
I am so hungry.
I know. I was just thinking about making a sandwich. Oh yeah, it's after 12 by you, Tom.
Yeah.
Lunchtime.
I'm trying. What is my single best flip?
Who's BK talking to?
Single best.
Anybody. Everybody.
I'll tell you mine because mine is small potatoes compared to you guys. But I bought a bag of clothes at a thrift shop, and it was fill a bag for $7. So I probably put about 10 or 12 pieces of clothing in it. So probably paid less than $1. And it was a denim jacket with these ugly stud things all over it and a pair of jeans to go with it. And when I looked up, the maker was Roncelli, which must have been a clothing in the 80s. But an actress, Kate Hudson, had just worn a similar jacket in a magazine a month or two before. So somebody had just sold the jacket for around $150. So I listed mine on auction for $150, and I sold the set for $410.
Wow.
That was my
Wow, that's
best
good.
flip. Yeah, it was a piece of clothing. But I know that small potatoes compared to you guys. So now it's your turn to one up me.
I would say my best flip would have to be finding all that free Procter and Gamble stuff in the dumpster.
Oh yeah.
It was all this Crest Sensi strips, and I had 74 cases of that. And I found a case of 3 of the Oral-B 5000 electric toothbrushes, plus 6 of the display models. The toothbrushes I sold for $180 a piece. The displays I sold for $30 a piece, and then I sold the Crest Sensi strips by the case for $15.99. And I just sent Sally the last of what I had, one case. So I'd say everything was free. I'd say that was my best.
I think it was it Steve yesterday on Scott's show had gotten a bunch of Oral-B stuff real cheap.
Did Swamp just had those? They were.
That's
I don't
what
think
it
they were
was.
Oral-B, they were those spin brushes. What the heck were they?
Yeah, that's what it was.
These were electric toothbrushes.
Yeah, that's what Swamp's got too. They're electric toothbrushes with the replacement heads.
they sell really well.
Yeah.
So my best was those 10 vintage watches from my girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Even better than the diver's watch? Oh, I guess because those are.
Yeah. I spent $200 on those 10 watches. And after the dust cleared, I had sold them all for over 6,000.
Jeez.
No, not quite that much. Over 5,000. And that one sold for what was it? 3,600 something.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say. I mean, there's a few I remember. I bought a tin cab skidoo for 50 and sold it for 3,600. I bought a Buku jacket for $8 and sold it for 800. That was a thrift store find.
All right, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta go to the post office and stuff. So,
All right, see you, Bridget.
bye. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Horror 1,000 hack action figures out of it. About $200 worth of tennis shoes. And some little coins that are from the Fallout 4 game. About $100 for all of those. I guess that's. I think all total, I made about $600 off that $20 investment.
I bought a pair of Converse tennis shoes at the thrift store for like $1 like 3 weeks ago, and I sold it for 100.
Cool. Look at all of these damn knives. I'm looking to see if they're worth anything or.
Oh, here's a good one I found when we were sorting through stuff. This is actually, we were sorting through stuff, packing up the truck. I found a copy of Super Nintendo Earthbound, and I sold it for $137.
Cool.
Jeez, did you forget you had it?
Apparently, I think it must have been from Jim's other older set of kids. I'm like, oh yeah, here's a video game. I put it in the video game box, and Jim's like, is that Earthbound? He's like, oh my god, those are worth a lot of money. I'm like, I didn't even know it was worth it. He knew it. I didn't. So we sold it.
I'll have to remember that myself.
It's a Super Nintendo like cartridge, you know.
I don't know if I have that one or not. I'll have to look because I bought a bunch of. I collect video games anyway. I bought a box from a church rummage sale a while back. So I'll have to check.
Yeah, which is me too. If it's a box of video games, I mean, I have so many video games. If they're cheap, I just bring them home because Brandon goes through them or whatever. I mean, I think we have almost every system.
Yeah, I do too. I think I need the. I got the 2600. I need the 52 and the 78 for the Atari. I don't have those two yet.
Yeah.
And I don't have the ColecoVision.
Oh, I don't think we have a ColecoVision.
No, I don't have that one yet. I got every PlayStation, every Nintendo, every. I don't have the Switch or whatever they call that.
Oh yeah, well that's modern.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's modern. That's like newer.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I don't know if I even want it. So, but my kids are like, "What do you do with these?" I said, "I'll get the urge to play retro games. What's wrong with that?"
No.
You're supposed to say Nanya.
Yeah, none of your business.
None of your
Of course, now they
business.
want to have a now they want to have a retro gaming night. Because I have the Sega, I have all those. My favorite Sega game was Toe Jam and Earl. That is the funniest game. Sit there and laugh so hard playing that game. It's so stupid it's funny, let's put it that way.
No. We got Miss Pac-Man cabinet. And I bought one of those arcade one-ups at Walmart this winter. They had one of them was on clearance for like 150. It was Galaga, and there might be another game on there with Galaga, so I bought that for Brandon.
Yeah. I thought about getting one just to see what
I
it's
haven't even
like.
set it up yet because Jim wants to buy a piece of plexiglass for where the joystick is on that piece of wood. Because if you don't put a piece of
yeah.
plexiglass on it, the decals wear off of it super fast.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Well, I'm glad I decided to go back through that bag. I don't remember going through this bag of jewelry, and I actually found some more stuff.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I usually go through it real fast and pick out all the good stuff and put all the other stuff. That like I don't test all of it for gold right away. So I go through I'll do all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops, I found some stuff. So. Because I take all the scrap gold and scrap silver in, of course, and send it in.
I bought some sterling silver at this estate sale this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had it like $6 a bag, and there was it's a heavier piece. It's a Taxco cuff bracelet with turquoise, and then there's another one that's sterling with like a turquoise inlay on it. And then there's some other stuff which I don't know if it is anything or not.
Sounds like you did good on that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this cuff bracelet, but it's got a little damage on the end of the turquoise. But I don't know. This guy, he was rich, and I'm like, I could see in the bag. I don't like to look at it real close, and my eyes aren't that good. So, but I'm like, well, that's marked, and this is gonna be the kind of guy that when he bought something that's marked, it's gonna be something good.
Yep.
Got some Hello Kitty sunglasses even.
Tara, have you already got some of your listed inventory down in Kentucky?
Not anything that's listed, no. I had a whole bunch of small engine parts. I delisted those and I sent those totes south. I think after I get down there, I might start grouping them up and listing them in lots. But no, anything that's down there for eBay is not listed. My shipping address is still Wisconsin.
A shame to let people know that you're moving to Kentucky.
No, because I don't have nobody's there to get the mail right now.
I'm just picking at you.
I'm worried my grass down there probably looks like the jungle. Monday we had a little bit of a storm come through here, nothing bad. But anyway, earlier in the day we went to Rylander. We had to go get some shipping supplies. And I go, Brandon, you want to come with us? No, I'm going to stay home. I'm like, okay. So we go down there, we make a couple stops or whatever. He calls me. You never like when you talk to your kid and they're frantic. He's like, "Mom!" I'm like, "Yeah." The electricity went out. I'm like, "Okay, well, it looks like it's gonna rain and the wind's picking up. The tree must have fallen on the line or something." He's like totally freaked out because now he has no electricity in the house. I'm like, "Oh my god, kid, you're so coddled." Like, "Oh no, what do I do? I can't watch. I can't be on the computer. There's no electricity." Well, anyway, we had this huge white pine fall in our backyard. Thank God it didn't hit the buildings or like my lawn tractor. It fell right next to my lawn tractor, but that's what they're cutting up in the backyard. I was going to trim off the branches, but they're doing it, which is cool. Anyway, I mean, the trunk on it's got to be, well, I don't know if I can get my arms all the way around it. Anyway, pine tree fell in the backyard.
We got a poplar like that. Three people can't have to stand around it to get their arms all the way around it.
Yeah.
And if it goes, it's taking my mobile home with it.
Yeah.
That's the way the root system is. And it's rotting from the base up, so.
Yeah, they have that with those poplars up here. Now in Kentucky, they got their poplars are a little different. They call them like that tulip poplar. But I mean, when they were like logging by us, I mean, those things were massive.
Yeah,
Honestly, I never saw a poplar tree that big on the trunk.
Yeah, that's what I have, a tulip poplar. It is probably the biggest tree in this area right now. As everybody comes to the
some
house,
of those they cut down. Yeah, they're amazingly big.
They say they're not supposed to let them get over 100 feet in a residential area. I thought, well,
oh boy,
this thing is probably almost as tall as our water tower we have here. It is huge. I said, "Oh, great! The biggest one is about to fall is in my yard. Nice." It's been here ever since my mom and dad put the trailer here.
So how long have you had the trailer there, or your family?
Since 1968.
And the tree was already there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was big then.
It was big then.
Yes. Because that's what attracted Mom to this lot was the shade from it.
Yeah.
Because it shades the entire yard. I mean, it's just massive. I mean, even the branches look like small trees, coming off of them.
We should name you Poplar Picker.
You could be the tulip poplar picker.
The tulip
be a little bit of a change.
It saps. I hate that thing because it drops sap all over the vehicles and.
That's how the pine trees are here.
Turns the top of my truck black. I gotta get up and scrub it all the time. But it's a good shade tree. I'll give it that.
Well, a good shade tree is always good. Why is my Minecraft launcher starting?
I'm gonna go make me a sandwich.
Well, I've got to get off of here. I got to go to run some errands and go to the post office. So thank y'all for coming in. Thank you, everybody that's been still hanging around. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having the show, Tom.
Hey, my privilege.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.